Chip Caray back at Wrigley Field here on the Leadoff Man program. The Cubs and Rockies are just a few minutes away, and it's a very special day for the Baker family. Dusty's young son Darren will be by to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" during our 7th inning stretch, and as Steve Stone is down on the field with the Cubs skipper now.
Steve Stone down on the field with the skipper of the Cubs, Dusty Baker. And Dusty, a tough game yesterday. Let one get away for the first time this year. But you have a double-edged sword. Your starting pitching is so good. How do you keep the guys coming in from the bullpen ready to go so they have control?
Well, the main thing you got to do, they have to work. They have to work on the side without working too hard because they don't want to leave it in practice, you know, in case a guy all of a sudden now he's called into action. So, I mean, that's a problem I think a lot of teams in baseball would love to have. You know, when you got good starting pitching and you say, hey, you don't want your guys to rust out, but you just got to keep them working, that's all.
Eventually, Alfonseca is going to be activated. When he is, Joe Borowski, who's done such a fine job, in your estimation, how is he going to be used? And I'm talking about Alfonseca, who was the closer.
I know what you're talking about. That's the same question everybody's asking. But, you know, right now, you know, I talked to Alfonseca, and he realizes when a guy's doing a job, he's doing the job. And I'd like to break him in a little slower, you know, late in the game, maybe set up, and then eventually go back to the closing role. But right now, you know, we're going to go with Borowski or depends on, like we did the other day. We went with Reminger if they have all left-handers coming up there like they had in San Francisco. So, you know, right away, the first thing we got to do is see how sharp Al is before we just thrust him back in that situation.
We've got a rookie singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" today. This is Dusty the Bear, Beanie Baby Day, and the rookie, of course, Darren Baker. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but yeah. Have you been giving him singing lessons or anything along those lines?
No, I haven't been doing anything. I mean, he knows the words. He's been knowing them for 2 years. He's been to this ballpark every day. He knows the national anthem. He knows "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," plays ball all day long. So, you know something, he won't have any problem. And if he does, he'll probably still be better than some of the guys I heard up there.
Now, how do you justify a 4-year-old, and that's what Darren is, a precocious but nonetheless a 4-year-old, how does he get a clothing line and Dad doesn't exactly have one to this point?
Well, I don't know. Dad really doesn't need one. Dad can buy his own. And plus, I really don't know. I mean, some company called my agent and said, hey, you know, we'd like Darren. Madison and friends called my agent and said, hey, man, we'd like to have Darren as our spokesman. I told my wife, I don't know, because he's out there enough. But she says, yeah, it'd be nice for him, and you know, for self-esteem and clothes. She loves her clothes too, so that's how he got the clothing line.
Well, Dusty, good luck to you, and hopefully things will continue as the Cubs are tied for first place. And this is Steve Stone down on the field. Back to you.
Nice job, Stoney. And coming up, we'll take a look at today's starters. Kerry Wood always pitches well at Wrigley Field. We'll tell you who his opponent will be when we come right back.
Introducing the new Nissan Murano for your adventures in on-roading.
A better brand of beef makes a butter burger better.
A better brand of beef makes a better...
Makes a burger better.
What?
A better brand of beef makes a butter burger better.
A better brand of beef makes a better butter...
Oh, I can't say that.
A better brand of beef makes a better burger better.
The better brand of beef makes a better burger.
A better brand of meat. Beef.
A better brand of beef makes a better burger better.
Culver's, America's favorites made fresh.
Oh, sand between my toes. Oh, sand between my toes. How I miss you, whoa, whoa, whoa. You and me, we played on the beach. Then my brother showed up. What a leech. When it was time to leave you, I cried. When I got home, what a surprise! Because I found you hiding in my shoe. I'm out of here. For great times in Michigan, visit Michigan.org. Michigan, Great Lakes, great times.
If only all businesses were like Walgreens Pharmacy, then they'd have drive-thrus too.
Yeah, I'd like one of those prenuptial agreements.
So you could get what you need quickly, without ever getting out of your car.
Letter of us.
Fortunately, there's at least one place that's designed around your needs.
So, tell me about your mother. Well, it all started when I was about 14.
Walgreens. Why go anywhere else?
Well, it's a battle between the Cubs and Rockies. Sammy Sosa getting ready, and on the mound, it's a battle of two former Rookies of the Year. Caray Wood, a winner in 1998. He's off to a 2-1 start this year at home. Jason Jennings, away from Coors Field, has been, well, roughed up. He's 0-3 with an 8.5 earned run average, something the Cubs hope will happen to him today, although he is a very good sinker ball pitcher with the thick grass and the wind blowing in. Should be a very interesting pitching matchup. Cubs and Rockies, rubber game of the series coming up next. We know it's going to be exciting, and it's Beanie Baby Day 2. Stay tuned. Cubs Rockies baseball is coming up next.
Program scorecards $1. Program scorecards.
The leadoff man was brought to you by Chevy, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last. We'll be there. Nissan and your Nissan dealer. And by Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger restaurants. Gifts are provided by Howard From Jewelers on the 8th floor at 5 South Wabash. Howard From. You want to buy a watch? New from FP Mailing Solutions, it's My Mail, the easiest postage meter system available. Tired of guessing weights and wasting stamps on your letters and packages? My Mail solves all of your problems and is easy to use. You can save up to 20% by printing exact postage. Increase efficiency with automated postage download through your phone line, all for less than $20 a month. Order My Mail at 800-956-6465 or at fpmymail.com. FP Mailing Solutions. We push the envelope so you don't have to.
Home loans confused Julie. What are points and escrow, she'd wonder. Then she went to Washington Mutual. They explained the process step by step. Now Julie's never confused.
And the answer is...
basal ganglia.
Basal ganglia.
I'll take it. And I don't need the extended warranty. So when you say it's not you, it's me, you're really saying it's me.
Exactly.
Do you want that snow pea?
Nice work, Julie. Nice work.
For over 50 years, Jack Benion's philosophy has remained the same. Make it right for the gambler. Jack Benion's Horseshoe Casino Hammond. In one word, legendary.
Hey, Cubs fans, keep your eye on the ball.
It's a line drive deep to right. That ball is gone.
Every time a Cubs player hits a homer at Wrigley, you could be a winner. It's the Southwest Airlines How Far Did It Fly home run contest. After every Cub homer, write down the distance along with your name and address and send it to WGN TV. 10 winners will receive 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination. For every Cubs homer, ask yourself, how far did it fly? From Southwest Airlines, official airline of the Chicago Cubs.
A powerful, all-new episode.
I'm too young to have a baby.
Stay out of it. Everwood.
Monday night at 8 on WGN, Chicago's WB. The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
On a cool and cloudy Sunday, it's Beanie Baby Day at the ballpark. Dusty the Bear Beanie Baby on hand, as are the Colorado Rockies, who play the Cubs in the third final and rubber game of a 3-game series today before a packed house here on WGN Sports. And hello again, everybody, along with Steve Stone, Chip Caray. Welcome back to the ballpark. Stoney, a rare occurrence so far for the Cubs this year. Last time out, the bullpen let one get away, and the base on balls was a big problem.
The Cubs have had terrific control out of that bullpen most of the time, but yesterday, an aberration as far as I'm concerned. Take a look at what they were averaging. 3.5 walks per game, 8 yesterday, and that's one of the reasons why the Cubs lost a real tough ball game. Let's see how they rebound today with Caray going to the mound.
Colorado with their 8th comeback win of the season. You figure it's going to be a much tougher task for them. Caray has thrown the ball exceptionally well here at Wrigley Field, and a measure of a good team is how they rebound from a disappointing game like the Cubs had.
And it's another advantage to Caray because he hasn't seen a whole lot of the Colorado hitters, but more importantly, they haven't seen a whole lot of him. There you see the numbers. He's been just outstanding, and the Cubs would like to win that series, and to do so, Chip, you better score 4 or 5 today.
They've got to beat Jason Jennings, last year's Rookie of the Year. He's got a great sinker ball, but he's never faced the Cubs here in Chicago. Let's get to our national anthems.
Bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain, through the valley, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light. The Illinois Lottery, where players have more fun. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Chicago Cubs. And by Southwest Airlines, more than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country.
On the WB Monday night, life in the Camden house couldn't be happier. But next door...
Need a ride to school?
Someone will threaten it all.
I just get this terrible feeling in my stomach. I want to know what he said.
Ruthie, just trust your dad.
Why does everyone keep saying that?
An all-new Seventh Heaven.
Monday night at 7 on WGN.
A powerful, all-new episode.
I'm too young to have a baby.
Stay out of it. Everwood.
Monday night at 8 on WGN, Chicago's WB.
You know I like you, and I like you a lot. I like Janice a lot, too, and I know she's your roommate.
Janice?
I'm not sure how to say this to you. You know that I like you a lot, right?
Yeah.
It's just that I like Janice a lot, too, and I know she's your roommate, and I wouldn't...
So date both of us.
What? What did you say?
To celebrate 100 years of automotive innovation, your local Ford store is offering 0% financing for 60 months or $3,000 to $4,000 cash back on the best-selling line of sport utilities. Explore Sport, expedition, and excursion. Celebrate a century of passion and dedication with 0% for 60 months or $3,000 to $4,000 cash back. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Well, there it is, the Dusty the Bear Beanie Baby at Wrigley Field today, and a big crowd on hand, as we've said a couple of times already, for a very special treat. We're looking forward to Darren Baker singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" today. And Steve, for the Cubs, really interesting to see how this club will rebound from yesterday's Colorado victory, a 6-4 Rocky win. The Cubs guilty of a lot of bases on balls. That was the big problem. It turned the lineup over in the 7th and the 8th inning, and Preston Wilson and the rest of the Rockies took advantage.
This has also been a very, very resilient team, and it's going to show today. They've bounced back all season long. Yesterday was a very tough loss, one of the few games that the Cubs lost from the bullpen. The bullpen has been a mainstay this year, but we've talked about a double-edged sword. If you have very good starters, you're not going to get work for the relievers. And I think they were suffering from a little rust yesterday. So hopefully today, Caray Wood can do what he's done since he's come into this league, and that's dominate people here in the friendly confines. You might remember a very similar day. It was chilly, it was overcast, they expected rain, and Caray Wood struck out 20 Houston Astros in just his 5th major league start.
And this is the lineup he will face for the Colorado Rockies, who come in with a 16-14 record. Belliard, Payton, and Helton, the top 3. Preston Wilson is in center field. Larry Walker in right. Interesting that Clint Hurdle splits up the 2 left-handed bats and puts Wilson in between. That makes life tough in the bullpen late. Jose Hernandez, the shortstop. Estalella, the catcher. Chris Steins, the former Cubs, had a great year. He's hitting 8th. And Jennings, the pitcher, last year's Rookie of the Year, by the way, will hit 9th.
And there's a look at the Cub defense for Pepsi. That's Mark Bellhorn. He's going to play at third today, and in the outfield left to right, it's Alou, Patterson, and Sosa. With Bellhorn, Martinez, Grzelcyk, and Choi. Damian Miller behind the plate. Hard-throwing Caray Wood on the hill. What wind there is, and it's not that much of a factor today, it's blowing out toward the left field corner. So for the first time in this series, it's going to aid the right-hand hitters.
So you see Caray continuing his warm-up tosses. It's a much warmer day than we've had here in the last couple of weeks. There is, however, rain in the forecast for later on today. So those of you thinking about going out to see the White Sox and the Mariners over at U.S. Cellular Field, pay close attention to the weather forecast. It might be a wet evening on the south side. And the Mariners, you know, Steve, this is getaway day for them. They're playing on national television tonight. It might be a very long night for their traveling party.
Well, it's also a team that is a little weak in the broadcast booth, but very strong on the field.
Very true. And we're set to go as Ron Belliard gets ready to go to work for the Colorado Rockies. Belliard is 2 out of 6 so far in the series as Caray Wood to work. And a fastball misses high, says Angel Hernandez. We're just kidding around. Dave Niehaus, our buddy from the Mariners, is joining us up here in the booth for a couple of innings before he hops on the L and heads down to 35th and Shields. And that's inside and tight. Ball 2 to Belliard.
Well, yesterday we saw Paul Schreiber behind the plate, did not give the inside pitch, but he was consistent outside. Today we'll have to see how Angel Hernandez interprets the strike zone.
Caray hasn't been real close. 3 balls, no strikes.
Belliard has gotten on this entire series.
Takes the automatic 3 balls and a strike. He's hitting .273. But his on-base percentage, Steve, around 36% of the time.
He's led off both games on base with a hit and a walk.
And he's on again with a base on ball. So Jay Payton, who's had a real good series, hits with a man aboard here in the top of the 1st inning.
Well, you would think that Clint Hurdle would realize that this is probably going to be a low-scoring game with Caray Wood on the mound, and that probably sets up for some movement on the part of Belliard. He's not overly fast, but this is a good hit-and-run situation. Payton's had a real good year. He's been very good against the Cubs. Look for some movement early in the count.
Payton 5 hits and 8 tries in the series. He's knocked in a couple of runs. Belliard not moving, and the first pitch sizzles over for a strike. Other baseball underway. Florida is in Houston. Mets are in Milwaukee, and Montreal will try to cool off the red-hot Cardinals.
Peyton's walked just 7 times in 113 at bats, so odds are he's going to be swinging the bat, and you can make that work against him.
Miller, a good stop. That saved a base. 1 ball, 1 strike to Peyton. A real amazing story. 2 Tommy John surgeries, but still able to swing the bat and still able to start in the major leagues.
Well, he's
as an everyday player.
He's part of a very good defensive outfield. They can really go get him left to right, but Peyton had to shift from center to left field because of that throwing elbow.
Might have swung at a bad ball that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, if Caray Wood wants to, he can strike him out with that good slider. Last time out in San Francisco, Caray had a good one. Didn't have great command of the strike zone, but that slider, especially to right-handers, is unhittable. So after going inside, you would think that Damian would be calling the slider, and then it'll be on to Helton.
High and tight, backs him up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Caray Wood looking for his 50th career win today. And somewhat surprisingly, Caray's only faced the Rockies 1 time in his career.
Well, that's much to the advantage of Caray Wood if he gets the ball over the plate.
2-2. No movement at first, and there's the breaking ball, and he hung it. And Peyton has his 6th base hit of the series, and the Rockies have 2 men on with nobody out. A carbon copy start to Saturday's game.
Well, unfortunately, this was the breaking ball, and Peyton jumped on one that hung high over the plate. Watch the location. Caray wants it low and away. This one hung on the inner portion, and just like the previous 2 games, the Rockies put the first 2 men on with nobody out in the first inning.
The Rockies, though, haven't scored in the first inning in this series, somewhat amazingly. And that means Helton, Wilson, and Walker are going to try to pick it up for him now. Todd Helton, hitting .340 on the year, is 0 for 12 against Caray Wood. 1 ball, no strikes to the Colorado first baseman.
It was walks that did in the Cubs yesterday, and so far Caray does not have a feel for home plate.
The 2-0. Smoked into left center field. That's a real problem. There's Helton's first base hit against Wood. It's going to score 1 for sure. Peyton will be stopped at third. Todd Helton with a double, and they're at second and third with nobody out. The Rockies have a 1-0 lead.
Helton drives in run number 30, and the reason is he got a 2-0 fastball. If you dig yourself in a hole to one of the league's best, you're going to have problems. And Helton goes the opposite way, driving this ball in the gap. Now runners at second and third, still nobody out. The difference is the Rockies lead by 1.
So here is Preston Wilson. He hit a big home run yesterday. It proved to be the winning margin for Colorado, and they're trying to put a big crooked number on the scoreboard in this first inning. Steve, this is a Rocky team that had a 6-game road losing streak snapped yesterday. And for them, a very important stretch. This is their longest road trip of the year. This is game 3 of 9 away from Coors Field.
Somewhat unbelievable scheduling, seeing them only gone for 9 days at the most.
1 ball, 1 strike. Colorado will head down to Atlanta next. They are just 5-10 away from home.
Wilson, a big strikeout candidate. He's fanned 30 times already, and Caray could use a strikeout. Infield back, they're going to concede the run to stay out of the big inning.
Back up the middle. Can anybody get it? No, it's off the glove of Gonzalez, and 2 runs are going to score. Wilson will take second. Nobody's at the bag, and Patterson drops the ball anyhow. So this game has not started very well at all for the Cubs. 3 runs on 3 hits, and Wilson in at second base with 2 more RBIs.
Preston Wilson gets a fastball down and takes it right back up the middle. It's a good effort, but Gonzalez can't corral it. Wilson with good speed on to second. And it's all Rockies so far. And keep your eye on Wilson. He'll try to steal third if you're not careful.
Larry Walker hitting .276. That's what has the Rockies so encouraged as that ball's popped foul. They're winning games, Steve, now without Larry Walker putting up real big numbers yet.
Well, they also won a big game on the road yesterday, and that gives a team a lift. If this Rocky team can get consistent away from Coors Field, they usually dominate at home. They come in second place behind San Francisco. They trail by 4.5 games, and they're 11-4 in their ballpark in Denver.
Four home runs, 23 batted in for Larry Walker, and an amazing 3 runs a game less away from home for this Rocky offense. 1 ball, 1 strike. That one drops in. 1-2 your count.
Talked to Sandy Alomar, who used to coach the Cubs and now is the third base coach for the Rockies. He said that this team is learning how to come back on the road, because last year, perhaps the year before, they'd have never come back from a 3-run deficit early.
Ground ball to the right side. Gonzalez will field cleanly. Runner to third with 1 man out. That gives Jose Hernandez a chance with a fly ball to make it 4-0 now. Good at bat by Walker. Knew the situation, moved his man over. Hernandez 1 for 7 in the series. 3 homers and 14 knocked in. They thought he was going to be their everyday third baseman, but Uribe got hurt. They put Jose back at short, and Chris Steins has been unbelievably good for Colorado so far. That one caught the corner for a strike.
Jose can hit anybody's fastball, especially if it's out over the plate. He fanned 3 times yesterday. Last year he struck out 188 times, and he did it because he cannot hit a good curve or slider. And Caray needs a strikeout.
Jose has struck out 4 times in the series, and he's set up for number 5 now. 0-2 is your count.
Well, if you want to, you can throw him a face-high fastball out of the zone. He swings at that. But I'm thinking another slider or curve wipes him out.
There's the first strikeout. 2 quick outs for Estalella. That's the maddening thing about Hernandez. Everybody knows the breaking pitch is coming, including him, and he still can't hit it.
If you put it in that spot, nobody's going to hit it. And unlike the first breaking ball Caray threw, this one didn't hang, and that's a big out. You hold them to 3, get out of this inning, and then turn it over to the offense. You still got a pretty good chance, even though Jennings is starting to throw the ball better.
2 outs, runner at third for Estalella, and he looks at a ball high. 1 ball, no strikes. Cubs are happy that Charles Johnson's out of the lineup today. He's had a very good series as well. 3 hits and a couple of RBIs for the number 1 Rocky catcher.
Estalella has a whole lot of power. He can surprise you at times.
One ball, 1 strike.
The one thing that Damian Miller has to contend with is that breaking ball in the dirt with a very fast man 90 feet away. And that's what's resting today. 6-game hitting streak, 478 batting average.
Not quite sure why he needs sunglasses today, but Estalella sporting them on a cloudy Sunday. Way upstairs, ball 3, 3 balls and a strike.
If you're a hitter in this situation, you know, with 2 outs, you just guess fastball. If you get anything else, you just take it. Guess fastball middle in and see if you get it.
Full count down, 3 balls, 2 strikes to the Colorado catcher.
He got the fastball. It was up and out of the zone, but Estalella, at least for the moment, has refused to take the walk.
He does that time, though. A 2-out pass brings up Chris Steins. 1st and 3rd, 2 away. Second wood walk of the game.
Larry Rothschild walking slowly to the mound. 29 pitches so far. And this has been the only thing about a young pitching staff. The pitches pile up early, and then they have a few problems as we move along. Again, if Caray can get out of this inning by retiring Steins, 3 runs is not insurmountable. So Angel Hernandez goes out and says, the rain's coming, boys. Let's speed it up.
If it starts to get close, you'll see the flags high atop the scoreboard. They're blowing from the right field corner toward the left. They'll reverse course when the bad stuff approaches. Right now, it's pretty comfortable here at Wrigley Field. Steins with 3 home runs, 12 batted in. And he's played a very, very solid defensive third base, too. He did not have nearly as much luck while with the Cubs last year. Quick strike to him. 0-1.
I think that's the surprising thing about Chris Steins as far as Colorado is concerned. They thought he would hit a little, but they're pleasantly surprised with how effective he's been with the glove at third base.
Nothing in 2 now. If Caray can stop the bleeding at 3 runs, take your punishment, say job well done, go get him from here on out. Seal in. Breaking ball carves him up. Second wood strikeout, but the Rockies strike for 3 in the top half. Here come the Cubs against Jason Jennings in the first.
Free to move about the country.
We see a mom and a CEO. Big business made agile. We see Teacher of the Year. We see 400 employees in 3 years. We see the toughest reservation in town. A 23-city tour. At Microsoft, we stand in awe of you and your potential. It's what inspires us to create software that helps you reach it.
Nothing Colorado. Let's take a look at the Cubs Pepsi lineup as presented by manager Dusty Baker. Mark Rudzelanek in the midst of a 3-for-30 slide leads off. Ramon Martinez bats second at shortstop. A day off for Alex Gonzalez. Then it's Sammy Sosa, Moises Alou, and Hee-Sop Choi. Corey Patterson's in center. Mark Bellhorn hits 7th over at third base. Damian Miller's the catcher, and Caray Wood will bat 9th.
There you look at the defense and how they'll line up behind Jason Jennings. It's Peyton, Wilson, who you're looking at, and Walker in the outfield. Steins, Hernandez, Belliard, and Helton. Bobby Escalea behind the plate. And sinker balling Jason Jennings on the hill. Last year, the Rookie of the Year, 16 wins. This year, early, he lost the sinker. Well, he's getting it back again, and this is a great park for a sinker ball pitcher.
And a quick strike to Mark Rudzelanek, hitting .281 with a home run and 9 driven in.
Get the sinker baller early while the ball's still up in the zone.
This is a big, big hombre on the mound. You can tell that he works out the lower body. I mean, he's got massive legs.
Well, Chip, they list him at 6'2", 242. I'm thinking he might have flown by 242 a while ago. But he was a terrific pitcher last year.
1 ball, 2 strikes to the Cub leadoff man. And he's retired. 1 up, 1 down. Mark 3 for his last 31 now. Here's Martinez.
Well, taking a look at the movement of the last pitch, that's what Jennings has to do. That ball just sunk inside on Gonzalez, who swung over the top. It was really a nasty pitch. Look at Estalella and look at the movement of that ball. Not only moving in on the right-hander, but diving out of the strike zone. That's how you get a lot of ground balls, and that's how you win 16 games in Colorado.
But you would think that that sinker away from home would be much more effective for him. Steve, it hasn't worked out that way. He's 0-3 with nearly a 9-point earned run average away from Coors Field. How does that happen?
He lost the sinker, and that was a big problem with him, but Bob Apodaca worked with him, and he's got it back again, and that's not good news for the opposition.
Ball 1, strike 1 to Ramon Martinez, who's off to a real good start for the Cubs. You never were really able to appreciate this man's value watching him play for San Francisco and seeing him just 6 times a year. But he's played second, he's played third, he's played short. Big hits, big plays defensively, and he's looked great and comfortable at all 3 of those spots.
I don't think you can appreciate what they call an extra man until you see him every day, and the only way to do that is if he plays for the home team.
Ball 3 inside, 3 balls and a strike. Of course, Ramon was with Dusty Baker with the Giants last year. And he's been terrific. Limited playing time. Good pitch to hit, you figure. 3 balls and a strike. And it's right back where it came from. Jennings got a piece of it. Bellhorn at second, throws not in time. Infield hit for Martinez. And he's aboard in front of Sosa.
You pretty much know on 3-1 you're going to get a fastball. Even if it sinks, you should hit it hard, and Ramon took it right back up the middle. Bobby Estalella talking with Jennings to see if he's okay. And apparently he is. That ball comes back to you in a hurry, and you have to react to it. And the guys that win a lot of games in this league especially are guys who can truly field their position.
He needed Patrick Waugh out there. He would have made a kick save and knocked that ball back.
He might want a job pretty soon. There's rumors that he's thinking about retiring. Pretty good goalie,
I would say. Here's Sosa. Sammy with a 3-game hit streak and hitting .317 on the year.
And the fans not happy with that call. They thought it was low and away. Angel Hernandez today, at least for Kerry Wood, is giving that breaking ball low and away. So if you know it, and you should by the first inning, don't be surprised when he calls it.
1 strike to Sammy. Now 2 strikes to Sammy. We talked with Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa out in San Francisco. They were lamenting the strike zone. They, especially in Bonds' case, who said he's never been in so many 0-2 counts this early in the season ever in his career.
Well, I think they want the guys to swing the bat. And it's nice to see walks. It's nice to see umpires umpire. They pay to see sluggers hit, and I think they're encouraging that.
No balls, 2 strikes. No balls, 3 strikes. 2 punch outs for Jennings, and that's what Bonds and Sosa are talking about. It's a much different at bat. 1-1, 2-0. When it's 0-2, you have to protect, and these 2 guys are striking out an awful lot.
Well, this time he misses his spot by about 8 inches. Estalella wanted it away. He got it in, but he got away with it.
So Moises Alou, the batter now, with a man at first and 2 outs. Alou with a couple of home runs. He's knocked in 18 men. Strike 1 from Jennings.
You can get the breaking ball over early. It sets up a world of possibilities because the hitter can't sit on anything. And Jennings is starting every Cub hitter out with the breaking ball. More importantly, he's getting it called a strike.
So far, no sign of movement from Ramon Martinez. Cubs not really much of a base stealing team. Unlike Colorado, they've been a little more aggressive. They have a little more overall team speed than the Cubs do.
Just 11 stolen bases, just 18 attempts for the Cubs. And Ramon is not normally the guy you would send.
That's inside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Jennings still trying to dial in his sinker ball consistently today.
Well, you figure he might go back to something off speed, and that's what Moises usually pulls. There's some room in the left field corner with Payton well off the line if Moises can get out ahead of one.
He did not swing. Ball 3, 3-1. Big crowd quieted as Colorado struck for 3 first-inning runs against Caray Wood. Two men are on for Hee-Sop Choi now, the reigning National League Rookie of the Month.
Well, this will be interesting now. Choi doesn't know a great deal about Jennings. Jennings did not pitch against us in Colorado. Usually the advantage goes to the pitcher, but Choi's got a terrific eye and can also use left center field, and Jennings figures to stay away from him in this situation. Not like Helton, this will really test Choi and if he can get good arm extension.
Choi with 5 home runs and 14 knocked in. Amazing thing for those of you who haven't seen him play a lot, he's got a very good eye. 19 walks already in his rookie season. Ball 1 to Hee-Sop Choi. Cardinals got 2 in the second against Montreal. Will they ever stop winning in St. Louis? Boy, that team is roasting hot.
Will they ever stop hitting is the question. And they're coming here on this homestand. And that weekend series is going to be a dandy. We've got Milwaukee coming to town and then the Cardinals. And there are seats available. So with the Cubs tied for first place with St. Louis, somebody's got to cool off that team.
Edmonds, Pujols, and Renteria 1, 2, 3 in the National League batting average race. That one caught the corner. Choi not too sure.
That was a pretty generous outside corner. If Angel calls it out there all day, it's going to be tough on the hitters.
Cardinals have won 6 straight games. 1-1 your count to Choi. 2 on with 2 out. There's a high fly ball belted center field deep. Wilson turning, twisting, hits off the wall. 1 run scores. Alou around third. He's going to score. Choi with a double makes it a 1-run game, and he didn't miss by much.
This young man is going to be an amazing player, folks, and if you're looking for young guys coming out of the Cubs system with a tremendous amount of promise, Hee-Sop Choi and Corey Patterson are 2 of the guys that are starting to fulfill all expectations. Choi gets a sinker out over the plate, hits it straight away center field. Wilson gets turned around, but he's not going to make this play. And Hee-Sop has now driven in 16 runs, and more to the point, the Cubs are in pretty good shape here in the first.
So a big 2-out pick-me-up from Hee-Sop Choi, and now Corey Patterson, the hitter, and he pops it out of play. Strike 1, your count. Rockies got 3 in the first. Cubs come back with 2 themselves. Although the scoreboard hasn't.
They're going to pick up that other run here.
Let's go, guys. It's 3-2. Don't give Jennings any more help than he already gets. 0-2 now to Patterson.
Well, sinker ballers, especially the better ones, are so vulnerable early that it's a good sign the Cubs are jumping on it. And there's another run owed to the Cubs. I'm sure it will appear shortly.
That's the pitch that Corey cannot resist. Jennings strikes out the side. Cubs, though, get 2 runs in the first and make a 1-run game out of it with the Rockies here at home.
Ooh, you're a naughty little boy, aren't you? Keep it up, and I'm gonna give you a spanking. I'll teach you the meaning of respect. You're not getting any of my Bud Light. Do you hear me? No kisses for you. Not till you learn to obey me. Now, get down on all 4s.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Welcome aboard. Please turn off all unapproved electronic devices. We have a very crowded flight today, and all overhead space is full. The captain expects frequent turbulence, so please remain seated at all times. And we do anticipate a late arrival. Thank you.
The Hyundai Santa Fe, with America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. When you upgrade your travel plans, you win.
A better brand of beef makes a butter burger better.
A better brand of beef makes a better... No!
Makes a burger better.
What?
A better brand of beef makes a butter burger better.
A butter brand of beef makes a better butter.
I can't say that.
A better brand of beef makes a butter burger better. The better brand of beef makes a better butter burger.
A better brand of beef. A better brand of beef makes a better burger better.
Culver's, America's favorites made fresh.
If only all businesses were like Walgreens Pharmacy, then they'd have drive-thrus too.
Yeah, I'd like one of those prenuptial agreements.
So you could get what you need quickly, without ever getting out of your car.
Better or worse?
Fortunately, there's at least one place that's designed around your needs.
So, tell me about your mother.
Well, it all started when I was about 14.
Walgreens. Why go anywhere else?
Jason Jennings leads off the Colorado second. The Rockies enjoying a one-run lead. And Jennings, even though he's a pitcher, watch out, he's a good hitter. A .299 lifetime average.
Reminds me a lot of, as a hitter, Rick Ankiel, who's really had his problems with St. Louis. A lot of people feel that eventually Ankiel will become a position player. Jennings swings the bat that well.
2 balls and a strike. We'll run into a position player that's gone to the mound in our next series. Brooks Kieschnick will be here with Milwaukee tomorrow night.
Recently recalled.
2-2. And that really is rare to see what Ankiel might go through. Usually it's a position player who can't hit that becomes a pitcher. If indeed the Cardinals have him do that, he's sawed off. All he's left with is the bat handle, and Jennings will swing again at 2-2.
Well, Kieschnick came from the University of Texas, and he pitched in college. When the Cubs drafted him, they told him they wanted him to be a hitter because they thought he would produce prodigious power. Hasn't worked out for him. In fact, I think a lifetime around .230 hitter in the major league. So he decided if he was going to make it back, it would be as a pitcher, and he was able to do that. You've got to give him a lot of credit for working hard at something he hadn't done in quite some time.
I mean, the best example, of course, would be Babe Ruth, who was a pretty good pitcher, went on to hit a few balls out of the ballpark. Hot shot, knocked down nicely at second. Good play, Gonzalez. And Jennings is robbed of a leadoff single.
Well, one of the things that we really didn't know a great deal about was the everyday defense of Mark Grudzielanek. It's been wonderful at second base. This is a tough play. He gets a one-hop rocket diving to his left. It helps that Jennings doesn't go down the line real quickly, but after the stop, it was easy. This is a good effort.
Belliard, the hitter, he walked and scored his first time round. 3-2 Colorado in front. And the breaking ball misses.
Well, Caray has to start getting ahead of these hitters because he couldn't get away with it in the first inning, and he's got to get ahead or he's going to give up a few more.
Hot shot right to second. Easy play. 2 up, 2 down. Right now he's not missing too many bats. Here's Payton with the bases empty. And that's more like it. Guys on the scoreboard put the 2 up for the Cubs. Now we're looking for a 0 for Colorado. Payton also reached and scored.
You can use the aggressiveness that Payton has naturally against him because he's not going to be patient. He's going to swing at pitches out of the zone. Unfortunately for the Cubs, every time he hits the ball, it's usually a base hit.
1 ball, 1 strike. Want to send along get well wishes to Margaret Johnson, a Cub fan for 50 years. She'll be going through some surgery tomorrow. We wish her all the best. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Payton here with the bases clear.
Well, although you missed with it, that's really the pitch. And if Caray can get that slider anywhere near, Payton, who's not known for his patience, will probably be hacking at it.
It's a full count now.
You don't want to get to that man, so you got to retire the guy up.
Ball 4. Caray has his third walk. This one with 2 outs. And Helton doubled home a run his first time. He greets Wood here in the second as well.
To send along best wishes to Naples, Florida, my friend Rube Reinstein, celebrating what I think is his 80th birthday today. I know he has his faithful dog Max with him. Maybe not quite 80, but in the neighborhood.
That's a pretty old neighborhood as Helton takes a strike.
Indeed.
0-1 to Todd Helton, the former quarterback at Tennessee and a member of the 1,000 hit club. He did that when the Cubs were in Denver last week. 0-2.
What you have to marvel at with Helton is the fact that, number one, he's drawn more bases on balls than strikeouts, and two, he will hit the ball where it's pitched. He's got very quick hands. It's tough to get inside on him, but if you were to pick one spot, that would probably be a good spot, although Caray will go away here.
One and 2 your count. Brewers are beating the Mets this afternoon 2-0. We will see Milwaukee here tomorrow night. Ben Sheets and Matt Clement will hook up at 7 o'clock over on Fox. Then Tuesday, Mark Pryor and Wayne Franklin. That also a 7 o'clock game on WCIU. Then Wednesday, Sean Estes and Glendon Rush, a battle of left-handers in the series finale. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Helton. Did he go? Yes, he did. Angel Hernandez will punch him out. Todd can't believe that. That's 3 Caray Wood strikeouts in the game. It's 3-2, Colorado the lead.
WGN News Monday. Wind, lightning, sun. The Sears Tower battles Chicago weather every day. Tom Skilling gives you a ringside seat for a fight like no other. Sears Tower versus Mother Nature. Monday on WGN News at 9.
Tuesday on CIU, make a run for the border. Milwaukee's Brew Crew is coming to Wrigley. Sosa and Sexton go head-to-head in a Midwestern matchup. Cubs, Brewers, Tuesday at 7 on CIU.
This portion of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by your local Ford store. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
To celebrate 100 years of automotive innovation, your local Ford store is offering 0% financing for 60 months or $3,000 cash back on some of America's favorite cars, trucks, and sport utilities. Taurus, Ranger, ZX2, Windstar, Explorer, Expedition, Excursion, and F-150. Celebrate the century with 0 for 60 or $3,000 cash back. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Stupid bloody bag. No, I'm just
But we really want to show you something.
What is it then? What is it?
These aren't Pepsis. They're Pepsi Twists.
You're a bunch of bloody magicians.
We're not the Osbournes.
You're not?
We're the Osmonds.
I'm a little bit country.
I'm a little bit rock and roll.
I dreamt the kids turned into the Osmonds.
Oh, there, dear.
Like twists, Pepsi Twist and Diet Pepsi Twist. It's a twist on a great thing.
If a Cubs player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN TV. You could win 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination.
3-2 with the Horn leading off the second inning. Mark Bellhorn with a .224 batting average. Despite a low total there, he's still knocked in 17 runs this year.
I think that's a lot of production for a guy that's hit around 200 most of the time. Getting a chance to start once again. And Chip, you'd have to think if he keeps hitting at all, because he's played pretty decent defense, that he would keep that starting job for a while. But with Dusty, you got to show him what you can do. He gave Mark a few days to think about it, reinserted him in the lineup, and he's done a nice job.
The 2-0 pitch is smoked into left field pretty deep. Back goes Peyton. And he should have a play and does. 1 man down here in our second inning. I want to thank our good friends at Pepsi-Cola for sponsoring today's Beanie Baby Day today. Jay Calavo was out to throw the ceremonial first pitch. Mark Pryor, not a real good catcher. Didn't knock it down, but Jay, a good throw nonetheless, and we appreciate him sponsoring today's festivities. Here's Damian Miller with the bases empty. I'm kind of looking forward to hearing Darren Baker sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" today. He'll be by in the 7th.
Any 4-year-old that has a clothing endorsement is my hero.
Kid has his own business cards too.
Signs autographs. I think it's wonderful. And Dad is hoping that when Darren grows up to be very wealthy, he will take care of him in his dotage.
Well, I was going to say, who takes care of whom on the income tax return? Is Dusty a dependent or is Darren the dependent?
Well, I would say they were codependents, but we can't get into that.
It's a little bit much for a family show. Damian Miller with a 2-ball, 1-strike count. A cue ball shot foul and out of play.
Well, last night, Chippy, we donned the tuxes for the Bozo Ball at Navy Pier, a wonderful event. Dennis Fitzsimons originally started it. John Votanovic was the chairman, and it was a wonderful evening and raised a tremendous amount of money for a great cause.
Damian strikes out. 4 punch outs for Jennings on the day. 2 up, 2 down for Caray Wood.
And I got a chance to talk to Bozo. Now, let me ask you, how old do you think Bozo is?
Depends on who Bozo is.
Well,
the clown, you mean?
Yeah, when I got here, which was 30 years ago,
right.
Bozo was a middle-aged clown. He has aged substantially, and he said to me, "My mother really likes you." What's his mother, 108?
I guess so. Do clowns have
families?
No, but do clowns age like people or like dogs? I mean,
well, he had that good look, though. Bozo was looking good last night, and it was a wonderful event.
1 ball, 1 strike to Caray Wood. I think the orange hair look would be a good move for the man a couple of booths down from us. Get a little tired of numbers 1, 2, and 3 for Mr. Santa.
Cubs have some guys who can swing the bat. Caray Wood is one of them.
And he loops a shot into right field. So Caray Wood's aboard, keeps the inning alive for the top of the order. What would you call, you've heard of people who are afraid of spiders. That's arachnophobia. What is it called when you're afraid of a clown?
Yeah, a clownophobia.
Choleraphobia? It's come to our attention that there's a major league manager who's afraid of clowns. How can you be ever afraid of a clown?
I have no idea.
That's a strike over the outside corner.
Some of my best friends, as you know,
there's no
are clowns.
Well, the circus performing side of the Stone family, I'm sure, would have the inside out on choleraphobia.
I would think that Todd Helton would move back at first base. I don't think Caray Wood's going to steal here.
No balls and a strike to Gonzalez.
And if you don't get in that hole, there's a lot of room on the right side. And now Todd is looking over in the dugout to see where they want him to play.
Tipped and caught by Estalella. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Estalella's worked on his release. You do that by working on your footwork. And Bobby throws the ball pretty well. Now he looks over and sees if they have any tips from the dugout on how they want to work Gonzalez.
Here comes now the 1-2 pitch with Wood at first and 2 outs. Ramon Martinez, Wood hit next. Colorado got 3 in the first. The Cubs got 2 in the first. Cubs trying to win the series with a victory today. It'd be 18 up, 13 down if they can do it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wood a good lead, not moving, and that's 3-2. He'll be running now with 2 outs.
Well, a big advantage. The 2 arms in the outfield belong to Wilson and Walker. Peyton in left field doesn't have that strong of an arm these days after the 2 surgeries.
Runner goes, 3-2 pitch, and that got Estalea's mask.
This is a sinker right down the middle, and a startling situation for Bobby Estalella.
Again now the 3-2 pitch as Wood dances around over at first. There he goes, and 2 men are on with 2 outs. Second walk. Wood to second, Gonzalez to first, and Ramon Martinez the hitter.
The advantage of a hitting pitcher is the ability to turn the lineup over consistently, and we're getting right to the middle of the order. Ramon Martinez has gotten some big hits for the Cubs. Base hit to left will be an interesting matchup because you've got Wavin Wendell at third, who doesn't give too many stop signs, but you do have a pitcher running out at second in Caray Wood.
And Peyton with that surgically repaired arm out there as well. But you got to make contact first, and Martinez looks at strike 1. Cardinals have added 3 more in the third. 5-0. They lead the Expos today.
And that was Javier Vasquez going to the mound for the Expos, so they're beating a good one.
Matt Morris for the Cardinals. Oh, swung at a bad ball that time, and he's down to his last strike. AL scoreboard: Boston over Minnesota 4-0 after 3. Royals lead at Baltimore 1-0 in the 6th. Cleveland 3-1 over Texas. Toronto 8-2 over Anaheim, that one in the 6th. Into Skydome. Oakland's beating the Yankees 1-0 in the 7th. Oakland just a game behind Seattle at 18-12 on the year. Zito and Clemens working today. Roger Clemens trying to win number 298.
That's a great matchup. Zito won the Cy Young Award last year. Clemens has a bucket full of them.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Big lead by Wood out at second, and a shot into the seats to the right side. We were talking yesterday about which records you think might be the most difficult to attain. Cy Young's win total, all the home run totals, consecutive games played. It's my way of thinking nowadays 300 wins is going to be a very difficult plateau. It already is very difficult, but the longevity of today's players is not going to be the same as it has been, I don't think. And the money's so big now, there's really no incentive for a lot of guys to try to stick around anymore.
I think they're in better shape later now than they've ever been before. Illustrated, Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, guys in their late 30s, the big unit, just pitching great or hitting very well.
1-2 pitch. Again into the seats.
And the only unattainable record, in my estimation, there's probably a few, but the 512 wins by Cy Young. I mean, that's untouchable. Can you hit in 57 games? Yeah, you have to be terrific and be hot over a long period of time. Cal Ripken's might fall someday, but nobody's going to win in excess of 500 games.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Ramon Martinez. And the reason I say 300 is going to be such a difficult thing, even more difficult than perhaps it is already. The game is so tilted now toward the offensive side of things that just getting wins, period, is so much more difficult now than it ever has been. The parks are smaller, the hitters are bigger and stronger. And again, with the money that's out there for good starting pitchers, I don't know if there are many guys that are going to want to pitch into their upper 30s and early 40s. Good at bat by Martinez, 3-2.
Yeah, this is a big break for the Cubs because now everybody will be running, and now on a base hit, you're probably going to get no shot at Caray Wood as he tries to score the tying run.
Sosa waiting on deck in a 1-run game here in our 2nd inning. Gonzalez leads at first. Wood from second. There they go with 2 outs. And Martinez couldn't stop himself. He swung at a bad ball. Cubs strand 2 in the second, trail by 1 as we head to the top of the third.
All right, where is it?
Where's what?
The 6-foot sub I bought for the party. I go get the Bud Light and now it's gone. Where is it?
I didn't touch your 6-foot sub.
Well then, who did?
Whoa! Ooh, doggy.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down.
Down, boy, down!
Make it a Bud Light.
Good night.
That's fun for some. Playing Mega Millions from the Illinois Lottery? That's fun for all. Players have more fun.
New from FP Mailing Solutions, it's My Mail, the easiest postage meter system available. Tired of guessing weights and wasting stamps on your letters and packages? My Mail solves all of your problems and is easy to use. You can save up to 20% by printing exact postage. Increase efficiency with automated postage download through your phone line, all for less than $20 a month. Order My Mail at 800-956-6465 or at fpmymail.com. FP Mailing Solutions. We push the envelope so you don't have to.
Revolution or evolution, and they don't know how to react. So they stare or whisper or peek out living room curtains. Because anything or anyone with such confidence and flair makes them wonder, maybe to win.
Introducing the 315 horsepower all-wheel drive Infiniti FX45.
Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. 2 innings in the books here at Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Colorado Rockies have a 1-run lead.
And this is a man who did the job yesterday, hitting the 2-run home run off Mark Guthrie. In the first inning, it was a 2-run double. Preston Wilson is starting to heat it up.
A good start for Wood. He gets ahead of the first man he faces in this 3rd inning.
Dusty Baker, talking about Clint Hurdle's lineup, said the toughest part of it is with Helton, Wilson, and Walker, lefty, righty, lefty. You can't just put one pitcher in from the pen when you face the middle of this lineup, and creates matchup problems.
That ball smashed into left field. A long run. Alou can't get there. It sticks in the ivy for a second. Wilson's going to try for 2. The throw is going to not get it. Wilson slid around the tag in a great effort by Gonzalez. He thought he got it, but he's at second with nobody out.
Well, it was a great effort by Alou and Gonzalez, and they almost caught Preston Wilson. Now you think this is going to be a double for sure. It goes off what will be the ivy, and Moises comes up realizing that he's got a shot at second, makes a pretty good throw. This is a close play at second with Sam Holbrook on the call, and a good slide by Preston Wilson, who had the presence of mind to slide to the mound side of second base.
And he held the bag with the toe, as you see. So 2 doubles for Wilson. Here's Larry Walker. He moved his man over with a ground out last time up. Ball 1 from Caray Wood. That's at the knees. Lights are on at the park. Try to minimize the shadows. And Wilson, leading extra baseman in the National League. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's at second. Now Walker shoots a ball to left. Alou turns his back on that one, and what a catch. Wilson headed toward third. He's going to be doubled up. Oh, what a play by Alou in left field.
It's a great play by Alou and a very bad base running play by Wilson. If you go halfway or 2/3 of the way, you can get back, but he was standing on third base right there. Moises makes a great catch with no regard for life or limb, gets a throwback in. They double him off easily. That could turn out to be the biggest play of the game. This is some real bad base running by Wilson.
He saw Alou turn his back to the plate, and Moises faked him out. He thought there was no way he could catch that ball. He was wrong, and he's out number 2.
Well, if he doesn't catch it, you're going to score easily if you go halfway.
So there's a huge break, and now Jose Hernandez looks at ball 2 downstairs. What else you had to like about that play is as soon as Alou made it, Caray Wood was pointing out to his left fielder, saying thanks for the pick-me-up. 2-1 now.
Caray can use it because so far he doesn't have real good stuff. But the Cubs trail by just a run, and a great defensive effort by Moises Alou.
Two and two.
To send along best wishes to Joel Hirsch of Michigan City, Indiana, from his grandma and grandpa Wozniak. Big Cub fan looking on today.
Caray tried the breaking ball but missed too far high and away to Hernandez. Full count now, bases clear. Rockies by a run.
And as you can see, Jose no stranger to the strikeout.
We'll do it again. 3-2.
The Rockies pretty happy about being in second place and only 4.5 back when you consider 2 of their starters, Denny Nagel and Denny Stark, have yet to throw an inning this year. They're going to get them back and be a whole lot tougher than they are now.
A little bloop down the first base line. Hesop Choi gives chase. Can't make a play in the Colorado pen. Strikeout to Jose Hernandez's total. Caray escapes the 3rd inning in the middle of the Cub orders coming up in a 1-run game.
Polyunsaturated.
P-O. Gingivitis. G.
Pungent.
P-U-N-G. Halitosis. A. Hyperventilate.
V-I-H-Y-U-T-I-N-N-T-D.
Sweet dreams.
S-W.
There's an easier way to get to Washington, D.C. Fly to Baltimore Washington International on Southwest.
You are now free to move about the country.
For over 50 years, Jack Benion's philosophy has remained the same. Make it right for the gambler. Jack Benion's Horseshoe Casino Hammond. In one word, legendary.
Bottom line, we've got to boost margins.
Do more with less.
Slash the ad budget.
Scale back in the Pacific Rim.
Actually, IT has a plan.
We're going with Dell. Dell's as focused on you as they are on driving down costs. PowerEdge servers, Intel Xeon processors. It's the flexibility you need.
And that cuts costs, not productivity.
Smart move, Dave. Now we won't even have to cut the free coffee.
Find out how you can cut costs across your enterprise. Easy as Dell. Call or go online today.
Steve Sanders, Allison Payne, Dan Roan, and Tom Skilling. We are Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
3-2. Cubs trail by a run as we head to the bottom half of our 3rd inning. with a very nattily attired Steve Stone. Caray from Wrigley.
These are beautiful shirts, and we, of course, have to thank John McDonough for these. And I think the vice presidential discount of 20% over actual value is well worth it. Thank you, John.
No doubt about it. We certainly appreciate our new uniform look in the booth.
And you got the memo on the
tan?
beige one today.
Yeah, the tan is very nice. Good. I'm thinking blue tomorrow.
It's a good look.
1-1 pitch to Sosa, and Sammy behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Sammy's had some problems laying off pitches out of the strike zone. And hopefully this at bat will be a little bit better than the last one.
That saw him strike out. And the same result here in the 3rd inning. Jennings with 6 strikeouts already in this game. 1 up, 1 down for Moises Alou. And before he bats, let's tell you what's coming up on WGN.
What's the best thing about having friends? Knowing they'll be there for you 5 days a week. Catch Ross, Rachel, and the rest of the gang weeknights at 6 on WGN, Chicago's WB.
Moises has walked, scored, and played a scintillating left field so far today.
Somewhat surprising. Jennings last year, when he won 16, averaged just 6 strikeouts per game. This year, it's over 9. And it's somewhat hard to believe because he's not off to a good start. The ERA at 6.97. But since he has rediscovered the sinker, to go with a pretty good breaking ball that we've seen today, he's been pretty tough.
A ball and a strike to Moises Alou. Dances off the plate. 2-1 is your count. Moises gave up on that ball, and it danced in to even it up. How about Pedro Martinez? Is he hot? He won yesterday 9-1 over Minnesota. His last 2 outings, Martinez with 22 strikeouts and only 1 walk for the Red Sox.
He's been hot for about the last 10 years.
True, but
Boston's putting together a pretty good run chasing New York.
They're only 3 back at the start of play today.
And they're 20-10. They're playing .667 baseball and they're 3 back.
But you know, the fans are saying, it's too good to last. It won't continue. And a lot of folks still wondering, Steve, if they're going to make a move and get some more arms for that, either that rotation or that bullpen. Both Bill Miller and Shea Hillenbrand playing well at 3rd base for the Red Sox now.
Well, that's the guy they're dangling. That's Hillenbrand.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a fly ball center field. Wilson, never know with him. He's got a beat on it, and he makes the play for out number 2.
Maybe on another day, but not today. That wind, not that much of a factor, but it's not going to really help the ball to center field. The flag of Yosh Kiwanis celebrating 60 years of association with the Chicago Cubs organization. So Yosh, who's been around seemingly forever, we salute you.
Aesop Choi doubled in the 1st. That knocked in the 2 Cub runs on the day. Nothing in 2. Yankees by 3 over Boston. Baltimore 6.5 games back. The Orioles are 3 games over 500. Kansas City leads the White Sox by 4.5. Minnesota by 5 in the American League Central. Seattle, Oakland, Texas, and Anaheim all separated by 5.5 games, with Oakland 1 back of Bob Melvin's bunch. In the National League East, Atlanta by 1 over Montreal, a 1.5 over the Phillies. Out west, the Giants, as we told you, by 4.5 over the surprising Colorado Rockies, who've done it without 2 key cogs in their starting rotation.
This is where they've taken advantage of Choi low and out of the strike zone. He's got to lay off that one.
He did that time. How much of reputation is helping him on close calls like that?
Well, I think when you ump a game from behind the plate with Choi up, you're going to learn that he's got a very good eye, and that is going to help him. But you have to establish that reputation first, and he's still a very young man.
3-2.
Good Gary Matthews, who works with both Choi and Patterson on being aware of left center field. For Hesop, that's his natural stroke. He has a lot of power to left center field. For Corey Patterson, he has to continue to work that way because his natural inclination is to pull the ball.
3 balls, 2 strikes. And Choi's aboard. Yet another walk from Jennings, his 3rd in the game, and that'll bring up Corey Patterson. Now, Will Clark is in town and has been working with Choi and with Patterson on ways to sharpen their strokes from the left side.
Well, he's also teaching them how to hit against left-hand pitchers. Now, we've seen Corey play against a lot of lefties. Choi hasn't yet, but he will. But what better teacher could you have than one of the great clutch hitters in the game, Will Clark? And Dusty still had the number in the Rolodex.
Corey Patterson swung at a couple of balls out of the strike zone and was retired to end the Cub first. 3-2 Colorado, as you see. We're only in the 3rd inning, however. Rubber game of the series. Ball 1, strike 1 to Patterson.
Outfield straight away, fairly deep. They want to cut off the alley because they know that Choi can score from first on a double. He's got surprising speed for a big man.
He's going. Got a good jump. Estalea's throw is off target into center field, and Choi's on his way to 3rd base. Give the big man a stolen base. Give Estalea an error. And Corey Patterson now has the tying run 90 feet away.
That's the 2nd error of the year for Bobby Estalea. He's only played in 12 games. And this throw is well wide of the bag. And as you can see, no chance at all for Hernandez because he's going to get killed by Choi if he crosses over the bag. So the stolen base E2. And the Cubs surprisingly run with Choi, who's stolen his 1st base of the year, only the Cubs' 12th.
That puts the pressure on the catcher on a ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They went out of the zone to get Corey last time. Will they do the same thing here?
Well, he's more prone to expanding that strike zone than Choi is. And if Corey thinks away, he's probably going to get the ball there. And it's a nice ball to hit over the shortstop's head.
That's something he did yesterday very well. The pitch is away, and it's too far away. Jennings didn't get the call. Full count now with Bellhorn on deck.
Well, he wanted to call on the backdoor slider, but that ball curved around the plate. Good call by Angel Hernandez.
Three balls, 2 strikes to Patterson. Inning over. 7 strikeouts for Jennings in the game, and he protects a 1-run Colorado lead.
To celebrate 100 years of automotive innovation, your local Ford store is offering 0% financing for 60 months or $3,000 cash back on some of America's favorite cars, trucks, and sport utilities. Taurus, Ranger, ZX2, Windstar, Explorer, Expedition, Excursion, and F-150. Celebrate the century with 0 for 60 or $3,000 cash back. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
We see an architect, a 23-city tour, the next big idea. We stand in awe of you and your creative potential. It's what inspires us to create software that helps you reach it.
Have some napkins. Ketchup, please.
Oh no, please. Okay.
And don't touch my chicken rings. Have you seen the phone?
Yeah, he's one of ours. Juicy, tender, golden chicken rings. Only from White Castle.
I saw that.
White Castle. What you crave.
Hey, Cubs fans, with summer road construction, public transportation is a quick, convenient way to get you to the game. Take the train or bus, and the CTA takes you right to the gates of Wrigley Field. And remember, if you do drive, come early, enjoy batting practice, and take advantage of the early bird discount.
This week on WGN Morning News. So, you think you can do better than these guys?
Wait a second.
Then find out how you can audition to be a guest morning news anchor. Hey, how hard can it be?
We lack in talent, we make up for it. Good looks.
Anchor Idol, this week on WGN Morning News.
Lower third for the Rockies here in the top of the fourth inning. That means Estrella, Steins, and Jennings against Caray Wood. He's punched out 4 men. He's given up 4 hits and 3 runs so far. That's over the outside corner, and good to see Caray getting ahead of his man.
Well, a radical departure because 15 men faced 7 first pitch strikes until this at bat.
That's unhittable. 5 strikeouts for Caray Wood. And don't forget, after this series, we've got 3 more games coming up. The Brewers are in town Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, and great seats are available for all 3 of those games against our rivals to the north. Pick up your Cubs tickets by phone at 1-800-THE-CUBS here at the Wrigley Field box office, any Chicagoland Sears or Sears Hardware, or online at Cubs.com.
Now Caray is starting to find that strike zone with the breaking ball, and normally when he does that, it's going to be very tough for the opposition, especially the right-hand hitters.
One of which stands in. That's Steins. Then the blazing fastball inside corner.
Well, Steins was caught looking in the first inning. He's not going to hit the slider if you can keep it low and away.
He didn't. 6 strikeouts for Wood, 3 in a row. And Jennings will hit with the bases clear.
Well, so far 13 strikeouts in the game, so both pitchers have been awfully tough in that respect, and there's not a lot of contact so far from either side.
Jennings robbed of a hit from Mark Gonzalez his last time up. Ball 1 to the Colorado pitcher. He's a good hitter, folks, and Sosa will cut it off in the corner, and Jennings is aboard with 2 outs.
The first time up, he scalded the ball to Gonzalez. This time he took it down the line, and Sammy did a nice job of making sure that he couldn't think of 2 bases. So instead of a 1-2-3 inning, something Caray hasn't had today, he's going to have to roll over and face the top of the lineup.
Belliard has walked, scored, and lined to second today. 3-2 Colorado. We're in the 4th. And a ball low from Caray Wood. Cleveland beats Texas, first final in today. Drive over the Rangers by a 3-1 score. Texas has been getting just unbelievable production from A-Rod.
Whoever held that lineup to just 1 run, they should give him the Cy Young Award today.
C.C. Sabathia.
Well, that left-hander has very good stuff. He's kind of Ruben Quevedo-esque, but he's got a good arm.
Speaking of Ruben, the Brewers have called him up. He won't pitch in the series, however, starting tomorrow night. And Rafael Palmeiro did not play for Texas today. He was hit on the elbow a couple of days ago. His home run total stands at 498.
He's knocking at the door to join the 500 club. Of which there is only 1 Hispanic member, and that's Sammy Sosa. Well, if you're Belliard, you know you're going to get a fastball. Usually he hits it to right or right center.
Big hole that way. He took it, though, for a full count.
Let's see if we can end this one without seeing Peyton, who's been a pest in the series, and he's in the on-deck circle.
Last chance for us to see the Rockies this year until postseason play, perhaps. Grounded toward the hole at short. Ramon can't knock it down. It's into left field, and 2 are on with 2 outs, and you do have to face Peyton here in this 4th inning.
Well, Chip, you know, I'd never be without my subscription to Vineline, which is a fine publication, and a wonderful article in this month's Vineline by Michael Huang, and titled "Baseball Pitches In, Helping Troops Boost the Morale Has a Definite Impact." We're not talking about any type of political statement or anything along those lines. It's just well written and a very good article. And Michael, you did a good job.
Here's Peyton. He's been on base twice. Yes, Mark Pryor was one of Major League Baseball's pen pals, using the internet technology to keep in contact with one of our fine soldiers overseas in Iraq during Operation Desert Freedom.
Well, with my internet skills, Chippy, I would have to use pigeons.
There's our email address. So we salute not only Mark Pryor, but all of the professional athletes who took time to stay in contact with our service members. 1 ball, 1 strike to Peyton. Breaking ball, fly ball, hit toward left. And that'll be an easy play for Moises Alou. Inning over. Lower third of the Cub orders coming up in a 1-run Rocky game.
The WB's new Tuesday is all new. First, the 2 men Rory cares for most face life-altering changes.
I'm your father. What? I'm getting married.
And Rory may be left behind. Gilmore Girls. Then, fear has been waiting.
Do you believe in ghosts?
For someone to play with.
You think she's seeing things that aren't there?
I know why you're scared of me.
An all-new Smallville after an all-new Gilmore Girls.
Tuesday night at 7 on WGN, Chicago's WB.
Have you ever spent like 5 minutes with him? He's totally self-centered and insensitive. They just don't go together. I mean, she's my best friend. She has these emotional needs he can't meet. Remember what she went through with Brad? It's just like awful. He's so rude.
And it's a deep drive to center. Rodriguez makes the catch. It looks like they're going to send the runner. Here comes a throw. He's safe. He's safe. The winning run is now on third.
You're such a great listener.
Thanks.
I told you she had a boyfriend.
The Hyundai Tiburon, with America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. When you can be counted on, you win.
This portion of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Chevy. The cars you depend on, the cars that last. We'll be there. The 4,000 CarQuest Auto Parts stores across North America. You'll find it at CarQuest. And by Honda. See your Honda dealer to learn more about the great value Honda has to offer.
13 strikeouts so far in this game after 3.5 innings of play. Caray Wood has 6 of them. Jason Jennings has 7. And he'll face Bellhorn, Miller, and Wood for the Cubs.
Bottom part of the order, the Cubs have managed 3 hits, the Rockies 6, and all the scoring in the first inning. So the Cubs trying to get the leadoff man aboard. That's usually the key to having a big inning.
Mark flat out to left his first time up. I'll have to get a good look at it when Mark's back a field at third base. But he does not have his own Mark Bellhorn glove. You know whose glove he uses? Eric Chavez.
That's a pretty good glove to use. They're not making any Ron Santos or Brooks Robinson.
No. But you'd think, I mean, here, Bellhorn had a terrific year last year. You'd think he'd have a glove with his name stitched down by the thumb as he's strikeout victim number 8.
It's 1 away from the career high of Jason Jennings, and we're only in the 4th inning. The 8th strikeout. That was a hanging breaking ball, but it fooled the horn.
One up, one down for Damian Miller. He too struck out. You're seeing why Jennings was a 16-game winner and the Rookie of the Year last year. He is awfully tough.
Well, they've been trying to do it with Nelson Cruz and Darren Oliver in the rotation, and they've done by and large a decent job for them. They can't wait to get Denny Stark back at 11-4 last year, and Nagel thought to be the ace of the staff. He's coming back.
They're thinking 2 more starts down in the minor leagues for Nagel, and he'll be back in the major league rotation. And with Colorado playing as well as they are, if he can come back and give them anything, it'll be a huge lift for them, especially on the road. Don't know what he's going to do at Coors Field, but if he can pitch well away from home, look out. Colorado's got a chance to be pretty good. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Miller. That's right down the middle, and Damian was outguessed. That equals Jennings' career high of 9 strikeouts, and we're only in the 4th inning.
Somewhat unbelievably, the Cubs have gone down 9 times early against a guy not known as a strikeout pitcher. But this year, Jennings has more strikeouts than innings pitched. And he doesn't look like a guy with a 7-point ERA, even coming from Coors Field.
Caray Wood has one of the 3 Cub hits. That one tapped slowly up the middle. Hernandez in, up, and across. Somebody send that guy a clown. He's got a 1-run lead as we head to our 5th inning.
Making the impossible possible, Henry Ford had the vision to build cars everyone could afford and the passion to put the world on wheels. It's Ford's 100th year anniversary, and we're celebrating by offering you a special $5 a day lease on Ford Mustang and Ranger. That's $5 a day on Mustang and Ranger. So visit the family of Ford dealers for this one-of-a-kind lease offer as we celebrate our 100th anniversary. So if you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Sierra Mist. Taste one shockingly refreshing lemon lime.
I gotta get me a dog like that.
Boys.
Right.
With a large color screen, next-generation intelligence, and the latest accessories, the Motorola T720 has quite an effect on people.
Hey, Ray. Get on over here.
See you, boys.
Get $100 off a T720 or up to $100 off Motorola original accessories when you sign up for a qualified calling plan at an AT&T wireless store.
Faster.
Tomorrow, the first 10,000 females 14 and older get a precious moment. Mom, I always have a ball with you figurine by Enesco. It's available only at Wrigley Field. And this giveaway sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Additionally, Southwest will present one lucky mom with a 15-person luxury suite for the Mother's Day Cubs Cardinals game here at Wrigley Field, and a chance to throw out a ceremonial pitch and 2 round-trip tickets to any one of Southwest Airlines' 59 destinations. The Cubs battle the Brewers, Steve, as you know, tomorrow at 7:05, and there are good tickets available.
Tough inning for Caray Wood, right through the heart of a very potent order.
And the first man to greet him is Todd Helton, and he pops the ball into shallow right field. Anytime you get him to swing early, that's good. 1 up, 1 down.
Well, Preston Wilson has been awfully tough today. He has a couple of doubles and 2 runs batted in to show for his efforts. And if you get out of this inning and the score is where it's at 3-2, you will head to the top next inning. So this becomes a real big inning for Caray Wood. Look at the strikeouts today. Jason Jennings ties his career high, and he's done it in 4 innings.
Well, they're moving this game along. The bad weather's approaching. It's going to get real wet and real windy later on tonight here in Chicago. But good weather forecast for our 2 night games, Monday and Tuesday with the Brewers. Wilson 1 strike away from being victim number 7.
Well, if Caray Wood can get that slider anywhere in the neighborhood of low and away, Wilson's not going to hit it. But he's become a terrific fastball hitter, especially away.
That's what he got, and that's what he hit. Into right center field. Sammy on the run. Can't get it. It's off the ivy. Wilson another extra base hit. He'll cruise into second on an 0-2 pitch. His 3rd double of the day.
You know, his strength has been since the day he put on a major league uniform, fastballs away, especially if they're waist high. We saw one go out of the park yesterday, and on an 0-2 count, this is not the pitch you're looking for. From the Southwest Airlines plain view camera, that one allowed Wilson to extend his arms, drives it into the gap, and he winds up with his 3rd double of the day.
So he's got 15 of those 2 base hits on the season, and Larry Walker has an RBI chance here with 1 away for the Rockies. They're leading it 3-2. Good cut, straight back, strike 1. Oakland beats the Yankees today, 2-0, the final score.
Well, Barry Zito has overwhelming stuff. That was a great pitching matchup. He denied Roger Clemens 1 more step toward 300. I think that Zito curveball is as good as has come into the league from the left side since maybe Sandy Koufax. It's that good.
So if he got the win, he'll run his record to 5-2. Roger Clemens, if he took the loss, would drop to 4-2. And a chance for the Red Sox to pull to within 2 games of first place. And Boston's winning at home 4-0, heading to the 6th inning. They're playing the Twins at Fenway Park. Montreal on the board. They pick up a couple of runs in St. Louis. It's now 5-2 Cardinals as St. Louis comes to the plate in the 6th inning at Busch Stadium.
Anything hit in the infield, the infielders know they have to dive to knock it down and keep it in the infield. That's a big run out at second base.
Zito today, 8 innings, 4 strikeouts. Scott Hatteberg hit a home run. Both teams just 4 hits at Yankee Stadium today.
And they're closing with Keith Folk, I believe. Normally they are anyway.
Walker, a hot shot. Gonzalez smothers that. 2 former Montreal Expos squaring off here. Runner to third with 2 outs, and Hernandez the batter. He has struck out twice. Let's see if Wood can make it 3 in a row.
Well, here's the problem, is that he will have to go at him with sliders, and those wind up in the dirt. Caray has yet to throw a wild pitch, so Damian Miller has got to smother it. Larry Walker hit the ball hard, but fortunately for the Cubs, right at Gonzalez. He's 0 for 3 today.
All the runs in this game scored in the first. Caray Wood surrendered 3 on 3 hits. Jennings 2 runs on 2 hits to the Cubs. 0-2.
This should be a thanks for coming. Talk to you next year, Jose slider.
Grounded up the middle. Gonzalez has a play. Hernandez runs well, but not fast enough. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Top of the order coming up for the Cubs in a 1-run game.
Maybe this isn't the best time to say it, but I think you're really beautiful.
Well, I've always been attracted to you too, Paul.
Wait, hold on one sec, babe. Excuse me?
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by May 12th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Lots of people have a look, but only a few have the goods to back it up. Like Dodge Ram 1500 Quad Cab Hemi, featuring an available 5.7-liter Hemi Magnum with best-in-class towing capacity, 4 full-size doors, full-size bed, and more. Now with your choice of 0% APR financing for 60 months or $2,500 cash allowance. Plus Dodge's fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. Dodge Ram, bold looks, genuine goods, and now a sweet deal.
Nothing beats the fun and excitement of watching the Cubs in beautiful Wrigley Field. And you can be there. That's right. Tickets are still available for upcoming Cubs games. To get your tickets, just call tickets.com at 1-800-THE-CUBS. Head to the Wrigley Field box office. Punch in www.cubs.com. Or visit any Chicagoland Sears or Sears hardware store. Don't wait. Catch all the Cubs action firsthand and get to the game.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Caray Wood has settled down now. He trails by a run with the 1-2-3 order coming up for the Cubs. First pitch swinging, Gonzalez. Hernandez deep in the hole and short, always with a strong arm. And Mark is retired very quickly, 1 out.
Well, Jose really is a steady shortstop. And again, they signed him to play third base. He moved back to his natural position when Juan Uribe broke his foot. This is a pretty good play, especially leading off an inning. Jose ranging to his right. And you're right, Chip, he's always had very much of a plus arm at shortstop, and that was a good play.
Here's Ramon Martinez. He's 1 for 2, an infield hit. And he takes a strike. Very happy birthday to Adam Walters at the game today, celebrating his 16th with his sister Nicole. And the Marshall family is here from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, just to say hi to their friends and family. Does Chip Marshall. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nine strikeouts from Jennings today. The real story. That equals his career high. Another chopper to short. Sunday hop. 2 out.
We're starting to see a proliferation of players from the Pacific Rim, especially from South Korea. Got a chance to see some highlights last night of Young Kwon Bong, a left-hander from Atlanta. My friend in Arizona, Mel Corey, gave me a great scouting report on him. But I can temper that because his scouting report on Micah Bowie and Ruben Quevedo, he likened them to the next Koufax and Drysdale. Might be Cliff Drysdale.
Out of play foul.
And Bill Koufax.
Exactly.
Yes. And there's a look at Aesop, who's had a pretty good day today. He's driven in both Cub runs, a stolen base, his first of the year, and a walk.
Stay away from Sammy that time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Houston and the Marlins are tied at 2. That one heads to the 7th inning at the juice box. Sammy a ground ball. Jennings starting to get a lot of those. That's not a good sign. 3 up, 3 down in the 5th inning. He's retired 7 straight, and the Cubs still trail it by a 3-2 score.
And now the toughest leg of the strongman competition, Norm, the Bud Light Industrial Fridge Pull.
Jim, that's 1,000 pounds of pure hernia that they'll try to drag across.
Sorry to interrupt, Norm, but it looks like a fan from the stands has stolen the Bud Light. Oh! A huge hit from out of nowhere. And this guy's got the foot speed to take this thing all the way. Oh, man!
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
Okay, who's the hero?
Make it a Bud Light.
Are the stars out tonight? I don't know
local Star Mark certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz dealer for details.
We see doctors. We see explorers and artists. We stand in awe of kids and their potential. It's what inspires us to create software that helps them reach it.
This portion of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Hyundai. When your car comes home with America's best warranty, you win. Hyundai. Walgreens Pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. And by Acura. Experience the performance today at your local Acura dealer.
Bobby Estalella leads off the 6th inning, and this game flying right along, and that one right through the wicket of Mark Gonzalez. That would have been a sure out. It's E4. That's a bad break. The leadoff man on for Colorado again.
Really can't do much with the physical errors. They're going to happen. Now Estalella gets turned around. He's not even running real hard. You've got to find somebody to block this one, but those things happen. Ball flattens out. Gonzalez comes up. The ball stays down.
So man aboard for Chris Steins. He has struck out twice today. 3-2. Colorado has the lead. We're in the 6th already. This game flying by. Pop up. Shallow right. In comes Sammy. He'll have it play easily. And Jason Jennings will hit with a man at first. Wednesday, May 7th, the first 20,000 fans get a Topps Aesop Choi baseball card. Compliments of MasterCard. The authentic reprints available exclusively at Wrigley Field. Brewers provide the opposition. Again, good tickets still remain.
What I like about Choi in the game yesterday, Chip, he made a great throw on a pickoff, took his time, made a perfect throw to second base. This young man was well schooled growing up in South Korea. He's got a real understanding of footwork at first base, something that's difficult to do. He has a terrific eye and has a chance before it's over to be an impact player. He's doing a good job already, and he's still very young.
Caray Wood could use a ground ball off the bat of Jennings here. He's 1 for 2. He'd be 2 for 2 were it not for a great play by Mark Gonzalez.
Jennings has hit the ball twice as hard as anybody in this lineup. So he came in with a batting average of 300, and you can understand why. Jim Hendry, the GM, gave us a scouting report on him and said that he can swing the bat.
That one spun away from Caray Wood. 1 ball, 1 strike. Minnesota's tied the Red Sox 4-4 after 6 at Fenway Park. Minnesota 5 games out of first place at the start of play today. Really an enigmatic team. But if they win today, they'll get back to 500.
Torrey Hunter started off so slowly, and now he's starting to hit the ball. You know about last year and those solid Twins pitching.
Runner goes. Good jump. Miller's throw is not in time. That's a heck of a play. And short by Ramon Martinez. That thing nearly skipped into center field. And Steve, he stole that off Caray. He had a great jump.
Well, this guy didn't have a stolen base all of last year. It looked like it might have been the hit and run. And a good pickup. And unfortunately, Ramon can't do anything with it. This throw on the third base side is second. And Estalella never looked back, so it was a straight steal for him. He felt that he could get a step, and he was right.
And now he's 3-1 on the pitcher with Belliard, Payton, and Helton lurking in the Colorado order. They've got a 3-2 lead today. First and second with 1 out. 4th walk from Wood today, his first since the 2nd inning.
Well, one of the big problems when you pitch right-handed and hit left-handed is you expose that lead elbow. And I think he caught a break here because it's real easy to get it jammed or somebody hit you in the elbow. Now he is armored up on the right elbow. That might have shaken him up somewhat. Caray right at the 100 pitch mark.
Belliard with 2 men on for Colorado.
The bullpen going to start to stir for the first time, and it's Mike Remlinger.
Caray does not have his ace stuff on the afternoon, but he's kept the Cubs in the game after giving up 3 in the first.
Somewhat amazingly, he hasn't had a 1-2-3 inning yet. He can get it somewhere else. He won't get it here, but he can also get out of the inning with Belliard on a double play ground ball. He's grounded into 2 of them this year.
Miller knocks it down, but that's all he can do. The pitcher Jennings does not leave from first, and he's upset with himself. He should be at second base. Let's see if Damian's all right. He did everything he could to smother that ball, but it spun away from him. Estelé at third. Jennings still at first.
Well, remember this one, because before it's over, this could come into play. I don't know how Miller was able to save that one from going to the bricks, but they saved a base. Jennings was not heads up at first base. Consequently, the double play still in order. And if they turn a pair and get out of the inning, they will have lost a run, and it could prove very costly in this.
1-2. Belliard protects the plate.
They're pretty happy with Belliard, who made this team as a non-roster player, and he's given them a lot at the top.
There's a big second out. Wood has his 7th strikeout on the game. Jay Payton will be the batter. Let's pause for identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN-TV, Chicago's WB.
Chip Caray, Steve Stone back at Wrigley. Here's the key man in the game to this point. Payton 1 for 2. And Remlinger getting ready. Should Payton reach, for you've got Todd Helton in the on-deck circle.
Well, again, Chip, you come into play with Helton, Wilson, and Walker, lefty, righty, lefty. Makes it tough on a bullpen matchup.
1 ball, no strikes.
Carey's been inconsistent with a breaking ball today, and it seems more times than not it will slide off his fingers and not do anything. He's given up a couple of hits that way. He's gotten a lot of strikeouts when he's thrown it well, but he's fallen behind to Payton, something he's doing a lot of this afternoon.
Trying to throw that right through Damian Miller. 3 balls, no strikes.
Remlinger threw an inning yesterday in relief of Zambrano. He walked 3, he fanned 2, and he got out of the inning without anybody scoring.
It all started this inning with E4. Ground ball right through Zelanic's legs. And a fly out to right. Pitcher walked. Belliard struck out. And now Wood has a 3-1 count on Colorado left fielder Jay Payton. And now they're loaded for Helton.
Big decision for Dusty Baker. Helton's 1 for 3. He's driven in a run. And I think Dusty figures go with the lefty. He's got a struggling right-hander who can't find the zone. Right at his seasonal average, but they've been 110 struggling pitches at times, and there's a big difference.
Dusty will summon the entire infield.
What do you think, Chip? You think he takes him down? Or maybe just a pep talk?
I think he's going to leave him in.
Well, as he heads from the mound, He gives Caray Wood, his #1 starter, a vote of confidence. And now it's up to Caray to execute, concentrate, get this out. And if you do, you have some pretty good hitters coming up for you in the 6th inning.
Helton today is 1 out of 3 with an RBI double. That was in the 1st inning. Wilson waits next, then Larry Walker. 3 on for the Rockies, 2 outs. They've out-hit the Cubs 7-3. Strike 1. Helton thought it was too high.
Well, maybe the big factor in this at bat is, despite the fact that he doubled in the 1st inning, that's the only hit he has off Caray Wood in 15 at bats. Dusty obviously likes the matchup, and he's going with it.
1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the 6th inning. Estalella, Jennings, and Payton are on for Colorado.
Well, you don't want to get to 3-1. So whatever he thinks he can get over, he better make it happen here, because then a fastball has to be forthcoming on 3-1.
2 balls and a strike. Angel Hernandez flinched, but no call Caray's way. Now you've got a real big problem. 3-1 to the National League RBI leader, and the bases full of Colorado Rockies. Made him throw him a strike. Full count now. So the carousel will start here.
Southwest Airlines Plainview camera shows that one just on the corner. And you figure to see a fastball away again. Let's see if he can hit with it.
Big crowd looking for an out here. 3-2 pitch. Runners go. Swing. Popped him up. Will it stay in play? Choi has plenty of room. He's under it. He's got it. And Caray Wood gets the biggest out of the game. Dusty Baker stuck with the tall Texan. It paid off. 1-run game with Alou, Choi, and Patterson coming up.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Chicago Cubs.
Stupid bloody
Hey, Dad.
bag. No, I'm just
But we really want to
to
show you something.
What is it then? What is it?
These aren't Pepsis. They're Pepsi Twists.
You're a bunch of bloody magicians.
We're not the Osbournes.
You're not?
We're the Osmonds.
I'm a little bit country.
I'm a little bit rock and roll. I dreamt the kids turned into the Osmonds.
Oh, there, dear.
Like twists, Pepsi Twist and Diet Pepsi Twist. It's a twist on a great thing.
That's fun for some. Playing instant games from the Illinois Lottery? That's fun for all. Players have more fun.
Get the best values in America from Dodge. Take our best products like the 250 horsepower Dodge Intrepid SXT, the restyled Stratus SXT, and the sporty Neon SXT. Plus our best warranty, Dodge's fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. Plus our best deals like up to a $3,000 cash allowance or 0% financing for 60 months. Add it all up, it equals the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer or visit Dodge.com.
This portion of Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge.
Time for our Budweiser True Fan Cam from Wrigley Field in Chicago. Well, so far today, Jason Jennings has had the Cub hitters singing the blues. He's retired 7 straight. He's struck out 9 men on the day. But a big momentum swing. Caray Wood got Todd Helton to pop up with the bases loaded. And now the middle of the order comes to bat.
It was a huge pitch hit, but I believe that every pitcher can go to the tank 3 times during the course of a game, however many innings he goes. And Caray Wood has been there. He had to get out of a struggling first. He had to really bear down in the 4th to get Peyton. And he had a lot of problems of his own doing in the 6th. And he reached back, and I got to believe that's going to be it for him.
Both bullpens are up and working now as Alou looks at a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Caray Wood, 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, 5 walks. Alan Benes is up. And Brian Fuentes, the side-wheeling left-hander, goes to work for Colorado. Cubs need some base runners, then need to string together a couple of hits. They trail it by 1, 3-2. Good pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Jennings has had very good command of the outside corner to the right-hand hitters, both with his slider and with his sinker. And that was a perfect pitch to Alou.
Moises protecting the plate. Mike Remlinger with the guard duty down there.
I'd like to send along best wishes to Don Carson, who will be undergoing yet another surgery tomorrow. Of course, from Don and Charlie's, who treats everybody so well in spring training from every organization. And Don, speedy recovery. Everybody wishes you well here.
Alou checks a swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cubs will need 4 runs to win this game. 3-2 Colorado the lead. 20 times this year, Steve. In 30 games, the Cubs have scored 4 runs or more. They're 16-4 in those games.
We said early that would be the magic number. If the Cubs could get 4, they could make it real difficult on the opposition. Unfortunately for them, getting 4 sometimes is a struggle, especially when you don't make a lot of contact. Now that is a good-looking cap.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Huh. Well, that's from the Mark Brady collection,
Well,
and that's an awfully good-looking cap.
The Raccoon family didn't have as good a day as the Wares. The 3-2 pitch missed inside. Leadoff walk. Let's see if that pays dividends. Remember, Jennings was on the base paths for quite a while in that 6th inning. Maybe that'll cause him some problems. And I think that's going to be it.
That's it for Jennings. He's thrown a lot of pitches. He's had a struggling year. He's averaged 5 innings per start, and at the 99 pitch mark, Brian Fuentes coming into the game.
Well, he struck out a career high tying 9, but Clint Hurdle allows him to go 5 innings plus today. 4 walks for Jennings on the day. Cubs in business in this 6th inning. Fuentes to pitch next. We'll tell you about his young season right after this.
Let's say this is you, and this is your auto insurance company. You've always gotten along okay, but let's say this is Allstate. Ooh, looks better than what you got now, huh? Well, qualified drivers who call Allstate for a free auto quote can get a company this good for this kind of price, maybe less. The choice is pretty simple, don't you think? So call Allstate now for an auto quote and find out how you're in good hands with Allstate.
My family vacation is fun! We drive to Michigan. I splash and run. Look, a lighthouse, everyone. The day had just begun. I like hamburgers with no bun. I had so much fun.
For great times in Michigan, visit Michigan.org. Michigan, Great Lakes, great times.
We see Michael, marine biologist, Broadway star, or maybe astronaut. At Microsoft, we started Club Tech with Boys and Girls Clubs of America, so kids learn more than just what computers can do. They learn what they themselves can do.
Lefty-lefty confrontation as we head to the 6th inning. Ryan Fuentes has been part of a very good Colorado bullpen.
And the ERA pretty good at 3.55, on for the 13th time. He inherits Moises Alou at first base. Look out for the move.
Left-handed batters against Fuentes this year, just 4 hits and 18 at bats. And his motion tells you why. He's real tough.
Well, not only is he a side wheeler, but he's a short armor, meaning it seems like the ball comes out of the uniform.
Nothing in 2 to Choi.
And Chip, the later you pick the ball up, the harder it is to hit. Some guys who extend their arm, especially from the side, you can pick up the ball when it leaves a guy's hand. I don't think you can do that with Fuentes.
He was part of a pretty good trade made by Colorado. They sent Jeff Cirillo to the Mariners for Fuentes, Jose Paniagua, and Denny Stark.
Well, the Cubs as a team have only seen Fuentes 6 times. That's everybody. And they're 0 for 6. Choi has never seen Fuentes, so the advantage to him.
1 and 2 to Choi. Alou a very short lead at first. Again, they're nibbling on the corners, but Choi with a very good and patient approach. Already with 20 walks on the season. Took it for a 2-2 count.
Well, he didn't see the breaking ball there. You would think he would see it here. That's going to be the fastball away. Dennis continues to throw. The ball has gotten away in the bullpen, so they will take some time here to corral that one. Outfield straight away, fairly deep, and both bullpens working.
1-run game. Colorado by a 3-2 score. 2-2 pitch with nobody out to Hesop. Full count now. I mean, Fuentes has grazed the edge of the plate.
Well, this pitch is off the corner. I mean, that's a good call, and I think by and large Hernandez has been good behind the plate today. Clint Hurdle can't believe it, but that's right, Clint. It was out of the zone.
3-2. Well, he dropped down even lower on that pitch to Choi.
Cubs would take a walk here. And Choi is patient.
And he got a walk. What an at-bat by Choi. He just watched as pitch after pitch missed the outside corner, fouled off the fastball, then took ball 4, and now you've got 2 on, none out. Patterson up with Bellhorn, Miller, and then the pitcher spot.
Well, you figure you're going to get a bunt, and that's why Helton comes in. Normally it's the third baseman who will come in, get the sign from the dugout, give the signs to the infielders on what kind of defense they want to use. But they respect Helton so much and know he's going to be in there that he's the guy that gets the sign, gives the sign to the infielders, and let's see how they defense this. Sometimes they'll sprint Hernandez to third and try to get the force out.
Pickoff play, and back safely is Alou. If the Cubs decide not to bunt, Caray has hit left-handed pitching this year at a 294 clip.
Well, the only difference is that that's the tying and go-ahead run on the base paths, and this is a pretty good bullpen for Colorado. And the Cubs have shown in 4 appearances, despite what the National League has done to Jose Jimenez, the Cubs haven't done anything to him, and he has 3 of his 7 saves against the Cubs.
Let's not get to him at all. And Fuentes misses low. Interesting defensive move that time by Colorado. They had Jose Hernandez breaking toward the bag as the pitch was made. Then as Alou took his secondary lead, Hernandez was looking at Estelea to throw back.
Yeah, they were looking for the pickoff play, and the next rotation of the same play would be Helton charging across and trying to get a force out at third. So Caray looks down at Wendell Kim. He's ahead 1-0. And Helton, one of the best fielding first basemen in this league, and he's got a very strong and accurate arm.
1 ball, no strikes. Pickoff play again, and this time the throw goes to Belliard. And now he and Fuentes want to talk things over.
Again, Helton will come in and tell Fuentes what he wants him to do. The reason is the infielders are used to seeing signals from the first baseman, but he wants to make sure that the pitchers have a real good idea which way to charge, either toward the line or straight ahead, and he tells them audibly what to do.
Caray bunts that ball past Fuentes. Only one play. Help to first and not in time. If Caray would do that once a game, he'd leg out as many hits as anybody in the game.
There's
They're
no
loaded.
doubt he can fly down the line, and I think Bellhorn was a little late getting to the bag. When this ball got by Fuentes, Bellhorn had to get there. It's a great bunt. And Helton does it right. Bellhorn comes from a long way over and can't get there in time. Caray is so fast. If he incorporates this as a part of his game, he's going to hit at or over 300.
So the Cubs in business. Bases loaded, nobody out for Bellhorn. Colorado in at the corners here. And a drive hit high in the air to left field. Payton might have a play near the stands. He does not. It's out of play.
Well, that was almost similar to the play yesterday with Moises Alou going into that corner, sliding only to see a fan reach over. Now this time I don't think the fan was interfering with the play. Much different than yesterday. And really no chance for Payton. That one was never going to drop in the field of play. Yesterday's ball probably would have off the bat of Sweeney.
Would-be members of the Blue Man Group enjoying the game in the left field corner. No balls and a strike to Bellhorn. 0-2. Here is that play that we're speaking of. A fan reaching over. It would have been a very difficult play for Alou. And we're not sure he would have made it, but any chance he would have had to make it was interrupted by that paying customer.
And it turned out to be the tying run after the base on balls.
Strike 3 over the inside corner. Bases loaded now, 1 out. Damian Miller, the batter.
And in a situation that called for a fly ball, Bellhorn could make no contact. Estalella wanted it in. Fuentes got it there. And that puts the Rockies in a situation where they can get the double play ground ball and get out of the inning. Now Helton wants to know where Clint Hurdle wants him to play. He's in on the grass at first base. He probably will not be going for 2 if the ball comes his way. He's going to come home with it.
To the outside corner. I told you Colorado has a very solid bullpen. Fuentes gave up a walk and a bunt single to load them up with nobody out. Bellhorn just took strike 3. Now Miller digs in. He's the 8th place hitter. And he's down 2 quick strikes. Rockies have more action in their bullpen.
Damian Miller has got to shorten up his stroke and look to make some contact.
Ten Cub hitters have been struck out on the day. Good cut to stay alive.
With the bullpen up and going, you have to believe that one way or the other, Caray Wood is going to be taken down. The Cub at every base, the biggest situation in the ball game to date.
Swung at a bad ball. 2 straight strikeouts with the bases loaded. Wood will be taken down, and now the Cubs need another 2-out hit.
That was a changeup low and off the plate. Southwest Plainview camera shows that it's clearly a ball. And when the Cubs needed contact, they couldn't get it. So Eric Karros is going to be named. And the question for Clint Hurdle, do you go to get the right-hander, or do you leave Fuentes in, who's thrown the ball pretty well the last 2 hitters?
So Karros announced now.
And the ball has gotten away again in the bullpen. Hey,
So
we'll take
with,
a Cuatro de Mayo today, and that's a celebratory weekend feast. And of course, as we know, it's Cinco de Mayo tomorrow, because I was a math major.
Well, they're going to leave Fuentes in, apparently.
If he's going to stay away from Eric, he's going to have to go to right or right center field.
And why not? I mean, he just struck out Bellhorn and Miller from the right side, and he's got 2 outs. Ball 1, no place to put Caray. Tying run 90 feet away. It's Moises Alou. Who walked to open up this 6th inning. Almost hit him. Ball 2.
Caray's 0 for 5 as a pinch hitter this year. The Cubs 5 for 37 in the pinch hit department. And as you can see, Caray loves lefties.
The 2-0. Eric hopped out of the way, but that was good enough. 2 balls and a strike.
He stayed inside most of this at bat. You would have to think something would be going away. Jason Jennings looking on with the game on the line.
Ball 3. He's got to throw him a strike now. Otherwise, the game will be tied.
This one just misses. It's low and it's just off the plate. Big call for the Cubs.
And now this big crowd on its feet. Driven down the right field line, and it's out of play, so the runners will move with a 3-2 count. Here comes the payoff. Ball 4, the game's tied. Caray draws the 3rd walk of the inning. Alou scores to make it 3-3, and a no decision for Jennings today.
Fuentes not very happy. He thought that one was in the zone. Clint Hurdle thinks that that's all he wants to see of him, and he'll go to the bullpen. A big run batted in for Caray. He did it without the benefit of a hit. The Cubs, who have battled from behind since Jump Street, have tied it at 3.
So Fuentes will give way to Dan Miceli. Fuentes 1 hit, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. The bases remain loaded with 2 outs. Miceli versus Gonzalez, and the Cubs have tied it here in the 6th inning.
A better brand of beef makes a butter burger better.
A better brand of beef makes a better... No!
Makes a burger better.
What?
A better brand of beef makes a butter burger better.
A better brand of beef makes a better butter...
I can't say that.
A better brand of beef makes a better burger better.
The better brand of beef makes a better butter burger.
A better brand of meat. Beef.
A better brand of beef makes a better burger better.
Culver's, America's favorites made fresh.
WGN News Monday. Wind, lightning, sun. The Sears Tower battles Chicago weather every day. Tom Skilling gives you a ringside seat for a fight like no other. Sears Tower versus Mother Nature. Monday on WGN News at 9.
On the WB Monday night, life in the Camden house couldn't be happier. But next door...
Need a ride to school?
Someone will threaten it all.
I just get this terrible feeling in my stomach. I want to know what he said.
Ruthie, just trust your dad.
Why does everyone keep saying that?
An all-new Seventh Heaven.
Monday night at 7 on WGN.
A powerful, all-new episode.
I'm too young to have a baby.
Stay out of it.
Everwood.
Monday night at 8 on WGN, Chicago's WB.
This is WGN Morning News.
And this May, you could hook up with a wealthy bachelor, star as an anchor idol, and make over your mom.
New mommy.
Incredible news, incredible fun.
Weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WGN Morning News.
Well, Steve, as we look at our Illinois Lottery fun fact, let's see if Mark Rudzolanic can come full circle in his career.
Well, the man he got the first hit is now his teammate. And he has to worry about Dan Miceli, who comes into this one with the bases loaded. ERA 6.38, on for the 13th time. And he's given up 7 home runs in 18 1/3. So play him deep, boys.
And a ball, no place to put him. Miceli was beaten on Wednesday against the Reds. 2 earned runs in 2 innings of work. Another non-roster player to make the team. And a tough call against Gonzalez that time. Randy Marsh makes it a 1-1 count on the appeal at first.
Well, this changes the at-bat. Gonzalez didn't think he swung. And beware the eyes of March.
Little ground ball to the right side. Helton bobbles, flips to second in time, and that will retire the side. Garrett Karros draws a bases loaded walk that ties the game, and after 6, it's 3-3.
When I look at Steve and Jenny, I just think, wow. Now there's a guy who shouldn't be getting married. You should have seen him a week ago at his bachelor party. There was dancers all around him, and he was crying, I don't want to get married. I don't want to get married. And I'm like, shut up, man. She's loaded. Because that's what's important. You know, that love.
Okay, let's say this is your car and you get into an accident. Oh boy. If you take it to an Allstate recommended repair shop, they'll fix it, so you're pretty happy. You're like, woo, I'm pretty happy. Even better, Allstate guarantees the workmanship for as long as you own the car, which means if even the smallest thing goes wrong, you don't have to pay for it. So you're still happy. You're like, woo, I'm still happy. So there you go, the Allstate Lifetime Repair Guarantee.
Call now and find out how you're in good hands with Allstate.
Dave. Larry, how is that Dell consolidation going?
TCO's down.
Uptime? Highly available. Great. And you? You know, we're still running a proprietary Unix-based system. Right.
A Dell flexible solution with Dell PowerEdge servers and Intel Xeon processors can help manage your enterprise for less. Easy as Dell. Call or go online today.
Introducing the new Nissan Murano. With all-wheel drive, spacious interior, and 245 horsepower. For your adventures in on-roading.
It's been a struggle, Steve, for both offenses. Both Jennings and Wood, a pretty good performance in the strikeout column. Both had trouble with their command. They both will not factor in today's decision, so now it's a battle of the bullpens.
And Alan Bennis comes in, and he goes right to work against a guy that gave Kerry Wood a lot of problems. Preston Wilson with 3 doubles, 2 driven home.
Bennis delivers the first pitch that's popped out of play for a strike.
Allen on for the 3rd time. He's thrown a total of 7 innings. He's been good the previous 2. 5 hits, 1 earned run. And the game now belongs to him.
Most doubles in game 4 in the National League and American League. Jeff Bagwell last did it in 1996.
I talked to Bennis, and he feels that he's all the way back to where he was before the arm problems. He said it's just a question of getting enough work to hit your spots, but that's been hard to do. He's been here for a while with only 2 outings, and hopefully he's been able to stay sharp.
Ground ball to the left side. Bellhorn with that Chavez glove takes care of Wilson. And that is out number 1. Just in case you wondered, the last National League player with 4 consecutive doubles in as many at bats, Billy Williams did it in 1969 for the Cubs.
So Billy before the game today. And what a hitter he was. They told me, Chip, in spring training, start him off with a slow curve. I did. He tapped it right back to me. Thought it was a good game plan. First time I faced him in this park, I did the same thing. He had a 3-run homer. It was not a good game plan.
Well, he was just trying to get himself squared away.
He was setting me up.
Yes, sir.
I was a young pitcher, and he was a wily veteran. And I can't wait for Darren Baker to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" and talk to me about his clothing line.
That's right. Madison and Friends in downtown Chicago. David Shellist has signed Darren Baker at the wise old age of 4 to be his clothing spokesman, and the kid's got his own business cards
with an enormous long-term deal.
He might end up in the broadcaster's wing of the Hall of Fame with those business cards.
Chippy, when his contract is over, he'll be 7.
That's true. Ground ball, fair ball past Choi, who almost ran over Randy Marsh. Larry Walker on his way to second base with a 1-out double. Well, I've never seen Randy Marsh step away from anybody so gingerly. He stopped Choi, almost plowed him into the seats.
415th double for Larry Walker as he takes it right down the line. And Randy Marsh getting out of the way of Hee-Seop Choi because he realizes that he is a very big man coming at you. So now Damian Miller out to the mound to figure out how they want to work Hernandez with the go-ahead run out at second. I think Jose very happy to see Kerry Wood out of the ball game because he had no luck with him. 0 for 3 and 2 strikeouts.
Well, let's see if Bennis can work the same kind of magic. The Cardinals are in the win column, a 6-2 victory over Montreal. And that's downstairs. Let's see if the Cubs can get Colorado here. Darren will come on and sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." He'll holler, "Let's get some runs." Hopefully the Cubs will oblige him here. 1 ball, no strikes. Larry Walker, one of the game's best base runners, out at second base. Beware of him.
And what Walker has always said, and what good base runners will do when they go back to second, they're going to check where the outfielders are. In this case, he would realize that you've got Corey Patterson a step toward right center field. So he probably will know that anything into left center, he's going to score easily. They're giving Jose the entire left field line.
Ball too low, 2 balls and a strike. Pirates and Dodgers are underway. That game scoreless in the second inning out in Los Angeles. Braves and Diamondbacks play later on. Here it's tied at 3. 7th inning.
Well, you've got to make sure that Larry Walker is stationary when you deliver the ball. There's only 1 out. This is the time to attempt a steal of third. You got Bellhorn back at third and Walker getting an enormous lead. So somehow, and probably it's going to be Grzelcyk, you've got to shorten up his lead at second. He doesn't run often. When he does run, it's pretty effective.
Estalella waits on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nearly hit him. It's full now at 3-2.
And the bullpen up once again for Colorado. And it is Todd Jones.
Three and 2. 2 men are on with 1 out. And Estalella, the catcher, comes up. Cub bullpen might get a little busier. Kyle Farnsworth sprints down the left field line.
Estalella has a stolen base today, much to just about everyone's surprise. But if you can get him to hit the ground ball, you should be able to turn a pair. One of the things Grzelcyk has done very well this year is stay in on the pivot.
Estalella 0 for 2 with a walk today. It's a pop up down the left field line. Bellhorn gives chase. That one well out of reach.
It is really starting to get cloudy here, and with the lights on and the wind starting to freshen up, blowing a little more insistently toward the left field corner, you would have to think that the storms coming from the west be ready to roll in.
No balls and a strike. Line drive left field, big problems. Walker will score easily. Alou cuts it off to keep the double play in order. And Colorado's in front now by a 4-3 score.
RBI number 11 for Estrella, who's been on base 3 times with a walk, reached on an air, and an RBI single. So Bennis in a world of problems as Estrella takes it down the line. And the Cubs trail once again.
This again might, I'm not making excuses for Allen. He gives up the lead. He last pitched April 26th, and that's been one of the problems of great starting pitching. It's tough to keep all those guys in the pen fresh and sharp. Strike one to Steins.
And gone are the days when Alan Bennis is going to be overpowering, so he has to have pinpoint control to be effective. It's hard to do that if your appearances are 8 to 10 days apart. But that being said, he's got to make a good pitch here and get out of this inning.
Steins 0 for 3. He struck out twice, and he's behind 0-2. Mets lead Milwaukee 5-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll see the Brewers here tomorrow night.
I think you might have Mark Sweeney in the on-deck circle. He was recently recalled, and he got an at-bat yesterday.
He would bat for Maselli here with 2 on, 1 out, 1 in for Colorado. The Rockies with 9 hits, trying to win a road series here, something that for them doesn't happen too often. They head to Atlanta next on what is their longest road trip of the year. Looped down the line. Did Steins break his bat? Think so. In the Cubs 7th, Martinez, Sosa, Alou, and Choi, the first 4 scheduled. Jones apparently will be the man they face. Todd gave up a run here in the series opener, a game the Cubs won 7-4.
Well, in lieu of the ground ball, you can probably get the strikeout with a good slider low and away from Steins. He's got a wide open stance, and at times doesn't have particularly good plate coverage, even though that front foot crosses right toward home plate.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Houston beats the Marlins today, 5-2 the final score in that one.
They're playing a little better baseball now, and the bullpen of Dotel and Wagner are awfully tough if they can get to the late innings with the lead.
Colorado's jumped in front. We're only in the 7th, but they've got 2 men on here. A 2-2 pitch to Steins, over but low. It's a full count now. It's Bennis's game. Nobody up in the pen at the moment.
Well, what happens when you're supposed to throw that slider low and away and you get it inner portion, the catcher moves too much and you're not going to get the benefit of that call.
Double play ball. There's 1. There's 2. And it's time to sing. Folks, Darren Baker's here with his mom, Melissa, for Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Baker, Darren Baker.
Get the best values in America from Dodge. Take our best products, like Dodge Durango with Magnum V8 Power Standard and best-in-class available towing and torque. Plus our best warranty, Dodge's fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. Plus our best deals, like a $4,500 cash allowance or 0% financing for 60 months. Add it all up, it equals the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer or visit Dodge.com.
Cubs fans, come early and save big with the Cubs Early Bird Discount. During the first hour, the gates are open. Enjoy 25% off all food and non-alcoholic beverages. For hot dogs, pizza, Pepsi, and more, catch the Cubs Early Bird Discount.
On the WB's Big Sunday, 2 Romeos, 1 Juliet.
I'm here for Rory. What?
Oh, no. Gilmore Girls Beginnings. Then, for the next 2 weeks, all new Charmed Adventures. From a journey that will lead one sister to choose between family and love. Men. To the realm of the gods.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
All new Charmed.
It all starts tonight at 6 on WGN.
Well, Steve, I don't think there's any doubt we've just had our best 7th inning stretch guest conductor of all time. Darren Baker, you did a nice job, kid.
And he got all the words right.
Thank you.
Now, how much have you been practicing for the 7th inning stretch?
Like every day.
Yeah? Here's Ramon Martinez, who's leading off this 7th inning for the Cubs against Todd Jones. Greg Norton's in to play third base for Chris Steins.
Flip-flop batting order as Jones comes into this one for the 14th time with a high ERA.
And that's a ball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Did you bring your business cards with you? You did?
Well, give Chip an autograph.
Yeah, I want you to give me an autograph. You've got your own business cards. We're going to get a shot of one of these. As Ramon hits a high fly ball deep to left field. Hey, Darren, the Cubs heard you. Ramon just hit a home run to tie the game.
That's the first home run of the year for Ramon Martinez, and he's Darren Baker's favorite player.
Now, Melissa, I've got to ask you, did you script this?
No, I couldn't ask for a better script, though. It was wonderful.
So the game's tied at 4.
And how far did it fly? 365 happy feet for Southwest Airlines. And what a time to hang a breaking ball for Todd Jones. And what a time to jump all over it for Ramon Martinez.
So here comes Sammy Sosa, and that's outside. Melissa, all the folks who follow the Cubs and watch our games across the country and certainly in the Midwest are just so delighted that you and Dusty and Darren are part of the Cubs family. How's this transition been for you all here these first few months?
You know, it's been great. The people here have been so accommodating, so friendly that the other day, coming back from San Francisco, it was nice that we got the win. But when we arrived in late that night, Dusty says, you know, I really feel comfortable coming here now. And so it's a good thing. Well, it's all good.
We're certainly glad to have you and Darren and Dusty. And as we have seen, if this team wins, just think of the grocery bills you'll save. You won't be able to buy a dinner any place downtown.
Fine with me. I don't have to cook. With all these day games, I'm finding I have to cook more.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Sammy Sosa.
Well, don't worry. When the clothing line hits it big, you guys don't have to ever cook again if you don't want to.
Sammy launches that back end and out of play. So many of us who followed your husband's career as a batting coach and then the manager with the San Francisco Giants really marvel at, Steve, I think you would agree with this, just the unbelievable people skills he has. He really endears himself to so many different peoples across every spectrum of our country. What is the secret of just this positive nature that he's had? He's been through an awful lot.
You know what? He's just an everyday guy. You know, and he can relate to just everyone here in the stadium. You know, he doesn't judge. You know, he accepts people for what they are, and tries to understand people and different nationalities. He loves different foods. So he's open to a lot of things.
Well, Melissa, there's one thing that struck me when I talked to Dusty, and I played against him. I've known him for a long time. We talked to him about the dress that he would expect us to wear on the plane during the course of the season. And he said, look, just don't wear jeans, wear anything you want to. He said, there's a lot of important things in this game, things that I feel are critical to winning. That to me is irrelevant. And I try to keep down the irrelevant things and try to emphasize what allows this team to win. And what I liked about Dusty is that regardless of the situation, he is all about winning. Yes. And I think he's shown that to not only the players, but the front office and the fans, and he's only been here a little over a month.
Well, you know what? If you can't get along with Dusty, then you can't get along with anybody.
That seems about right.
Well, with the exception of Skip Bayless from the San Jose Mercury, just about everybody does.
Well, thank you.
1 ball, no strikes to Moises Alou. Darren, have you figured out who your favorite player for the Cubs is now? Hee-Sop Choi. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Do you hope to be a bat boy for the Cubs? That means you'd be around a long, long time. Yeah.
Because that Darren rule is now into effect, so you got a little growing to do yet.
Yeah, Mom, what did you think about that play in the World Series when he was nearly...
Well, you know, I missed it, actually. When Kenny Lofton hit the ball, everybody was looking up and out over by, I think it was left center. So no one was looking 3 feet down. And so by the time I saw it all, what I saw was JT Snow putting him down. And I found that a little strange. And then I went downstairs and saw the replays. And then I was like, oh, my God.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Alou with Sammy at first. Alou shoots that ball shallow right. Larry Walker and Belliard will converge. Belliard makes a good play for out number 1 here in this 7th inning. Well, luckily he came through it unscathed. He's got his own clothing deal. Darren, I've got your business card. I'm going to put this in a special place at my house. And when my kids come up here this summer, you want to go to Navy Pier with us sometime?
Yeah.
That sounds like a plan. Darren, you're the best. Nice job with the 7th inning stretch.
Yeah.
And Melissa, thank you so much. And welcome to Chicago.
Thank you for having us.
We look forward to a long, long time with you all here in Chicago.
Thank you.
Darren and Melissa Baker with us. Game tied 4-4 in the 7th. Y'all may not have noticed that when Darren was singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," Dusty couldn't look upstairs but once or twice. I'm sure there were a lot of emotions going through his head as this handsome young man was singing and delighting a big crowd here at Wrigley Field. I know he was proud, and they're a wonderful family. Here's Darren's favorite player, Hee-Sop Choi, and he takes the ball high from Jones. Game tied on a Ramon Martinez 7th inning home run.
Well, you have to marvel at the eye of Choi, because he just hasn't seen that many major league pitchers. But he's shown early that he's not going to swing at too many bad pitches. And yes, he will look bad on occasion. Yes, he will get fooled by good changeups. But he is on a pace to do something that only Junior Gilliam did in the early 50s, and that is a rookie in the National League who will draw 100 walks. And he's drawn 2 of them today to go with a couple of RBIs and a double in the 1st inning.
Falling off a tough pitch. Isn't it amazing, Steve? We can get a 4-year-old up here and he can sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" perfectly, and we get 30, 40, and 50-year-olds that have no clue.
I think he practices a little bit. And certainly with his busy schedule, you can understand where he'd work at.
Hee-Sop took strike 3. And there are now 2 men out.
Jones made a good pitch. This on the inside corner. That's exactly where Estelea wanted it. And you see he's very quiet behind the plate. He puts the glove up, it hits the glove, and he frames it for him and got the benefit of the call. Great bunt last time by Corey Patterson. Don't look for it this time.
Corey Patterson's 1 for 3, and a cue ball shot to Hernandez at short. He'll flip to Belliard in time, and that'll retire the side. Martinez, a leadoff home run in the 7th, gives the Cubs new life. It's a 4-4 game heading to the 8th.
Ooh, you're a naughty little boy, aren't you? Keep it up, and I'm gonna give you a spanking. I'll teach you the meaning of respect. You're not getting any of my Bud Light. Do you hear me? No kisses for you. Not till you learn to obey me. Now, get down on all 4s.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Stop! The new 315 horsepower all-wheel drive Infiniti FX45.
For years, Roy was afraid of home loans. Then he went to Washington Mutual. They write their own approval rules and gave him a quick thumbs up. Now Roy fears nothing.
Take the whole tray.
Sometimes we wish we'd left a little bit of fear in Roy.
Have some napkins. Ketchup, please.
Oh no, please. Okay. And don't touch my chicken rings. Have you seen the phone?
Yeah, he's one of ours. Juicy, tender, golden chicken rings. Only from White Castle.
I saw that.
White Castle. What you crave.
Second inning of work now for Alan Bennis. He'll face Norton, Belliard, and Payton. A 4-4 game. Cubs shortstops of late have given this team a big lift. Ramon Martinez with a leadoff home run here. Alex Gonzalez on getaway day in San Francisco hit 2 home runs.
But Greg Norton hitting for the first time. He came in defensively in a flip-flop batting order, and he does have some pop. It was yesterday's game in the 8th inning when the Rockies put it away. They scored 3 runs, highlighted by a 2-run homer by Preston Wilson. It's the bottom part of the batting order, but anybody gets on and you get to the middle of the order. That's why Remlinger's loosening in the pen.
2 balls and a strike. Bases clear, and Bennis misses low at 3-1.
We have not seen the best control out of the Cub bullpen the last couple of days, simply from lack of work. You've got to sharpen up, and there's no better way to do it than game innings.
Another walk. Leadoff variety in the 8th inning. And as Yogi Berra said, deja vu all over again. A leadoff walk led to 3 runs for the Rockies in the 8th yesterday.
It was a pinch hitting role for Mark Sweeney. And the leadoff walk eventually tied the game. So this one is tied, but that's the go-ahead run. I think Belliard's going to bunt.
I think you're right, but it's into the seats for a strike.
But remember, this was a scenario yesterday with Belliard laying down a bunt, moving the runner along to second, and then a wild pitch from Farnsworth, and a Payton base hit, and the game just like that was tied.
One ball, 1 strike.
Going back to the game yesterday, the Rockies have had at least 1 man on in 12 straight innings. And this is a pretty good pitching staff, folks. That's really an unusual stat.
It's not like they've hit their way on consistently. It's that the Cubs' image has been off pretty badly. And Bennis behind Belliard, 2-1.
Well, in a bunt situation, first of all, and Belliard is telling you that he's bunting, at least to this point, you don't want to keep the ball down. You want to keep the ball up, and hopefully he can pop it up.
Well, the Cubs have walked 15 Rockies in 16+ innings. For the last game plus, runner goes, hit and run on, lined into right field. Sammy dives, smothers it, and all hands will be safe. If he makes the play, it's a double play. If he doesn't, he's got to knock it down. He did that, but big trouble again. 1st and 3rd with nobody out.
Good play by Belliard. He pulled it back, and then you just take a little swipe at it. It almost carried too far as the Rockies are concerned. Sammy did everything he could to try to corral this one, but he doesn't get it done. Norton heads to 3rd, runners at the corners, nobody out, and now you've got some big trouble with Payton, Helton, Wilson, and Walker waiting in the wings.
4-4 game, but the lead in jeopardy here. Bennis sure could use a strikeout. There's a start. It's lined over the Rocky dugout. Strike 1.
Well, it's going to be a real interesting play because you can't automatically go for 2. If this ball is hit with anything on it, right back at Bennis, he can look Norton back and maybe go to second. And a chopper to Bellhorn, you got to come home with it if they're running on contact.
Sandy Alomar, the third base coach, with the sign to Peyton that says drive in a run, son. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now he has him set up at 1-2.
He does have 1 sacrifice fly this year. But he's not an easy man to strike out. He's fanned 17 times, but that's in 117 at bats. Remember, the Cubs still have a move to make. Antonio Alfonseca just about ready to go. He's been with the club this weekend. It's a difficult decision for Jim Hendry, the general manager. We'll probably find out a whole lot more about it after the game today, or perhaps before the game tomorrow.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Peyton. Elton waiting. There's nobody out. First and third are the runners, and the count evens up at 2-2. There's no defense against the base on balls. The Cubs have walked a bunch more today. 7 in total. And he's 1 pitch away from making it 8 and loading him up for Helton. Popped out in an identical situation, but with 2 outs in the 6th.
Well, the Remlinger-Helton matchup is a good one for the Cubs, as is the Remlinger-Wilson matchup, but not the Remlinger-Walker matchup. But first things first.
Full count to Jay Peyton. He got it. Oh, that's a big out. Wow. Peyton may have expanded his strike zone. A tough man to retire. And now Dusty Baker will head to Angel Hernandez. And we're going to see Remlinger here to face Todd Helton. And Tom Goodwin is also going to come in on a double switch. And he will replace Corey Patterson, one would presume, here in a 4-4 game with 1 man out. So a pitching change coming. Game tied 4-4 in the 8th inning. Peyton, the first big out here in the top of the 8th.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN TV, Chicago's WB.
Remlinger on to pitch. We'll take a break.
On the WB's Big Sunday, 2 Romeos, 1 Juliet.
I'm here for Rory. What?
Oh, no.
Gilmore Girls Beginnings. Then, for the next 2 weeks, all new Charmed Adventures. From a journey that will lead one sister to choose between family and love.
Men.
To the realm of the gods.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
All new Charmed.
It all starts tonight at 6 on WGN.
WGN News Monday. Wind, lightning, sun. The Sears Tower battles Chicago weather every day. Tom Skinner gives you a ringside seat for a fight like no other. Sears Tower versus Mother Nature. Monday on WGN News at 9.
This week on WGN Morning News. So, you think you can do better than these guys?
Wait a second.
Then find out how you can audition to be a guest morning news anchor. Hey, how hard can it be?
We lack in talent, we make up for it. Good looks.
Anchor Idol, this week on WGN Morning News.
Hello, baby. Rachel's got one in the oven.
I'm pregnant.
Do I?
What?
Monica's got one on her mind.
Fertilize me.
We lie.
What?
Oh, baby, you know what I like. The month of great expectations on Friends.
Oh, baby, that's all week long.
Weeknights at 6 on WGN, Chicago's WB.
Years of friendship may finally become something more.
Maybe it's me that needs to start believing in you.
All new Smallville.
Tuesday night at 8 on WGN, Chicago's WB.
Tom Goodwin takes over in center field for the Cubs, and now Mike Remlinger is on to face Todd Helton, and Alan Bennis got the first big out in this 8th inning. Now it's a lefty-lefty matchup, the double play in order in a 4-4 game.
Remlinger on for the 14th time. The ERA 3.75, limited action, just 12 innings, but he's walked 11, and that bothers you somewhat, including 3 yesterday when he wiggled off the hook in the 7th inning. He's always had good luck against Helton. He'll need it here.
First and third, 1 out. There's a good start. Strike 1.
Out of the things that Helton does well, they are in abundance. One of them is not blazing speed. He has grounded into 2 double plays, and the Cubs have been very good at turning them in the clutch. But first, you have to get the ground ball.
Rockies have hit the 2 double plays today. One more would be great right here. The 1-strike pitch. And now Helton in an 0-2 hole.
That looked like one of the few changeups that Remlinger will throw to a left-hand hitter. That's what he uses to dominate a lot of right-hand hitters, the straight change. And very few lefties use it to left-hand hitters very much.
Cardinals beat Javier Vasquez today. Matt Morris threw a gem. Cardinals with a 6-0 homestand. Cubs need to win to keep pace, and he popped him up behind the plate. Miller might have a play. He's under it. He's got it. Helton pops out. Wow, 2 down.
That's the second time today, and second time in 3 innings that Helton has popped up in a critical situation. He did it with the bases loaded in the 6th. Remlinger gets him here, and a good play by Miller. And now the importance of this at bat can't be understated, because Larry Walker in the on-deck circle murders Remlinger. So you want to make it happen right here with Preston Wilson. And Preston Wilson, during the course of his career, Chip, has got goose eggs against Remlinger.
You almost feel more comfortable with that Remlinger changeup against Wilson here than you do in facing Helton. We'll see if it works out that way.
He's 0 for 9 against him with 6 strikeouts.
2 outs. They're at the corners. Missed with fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Wilson 3 doubles, 2 RBIs, and a ground out today.
Well, yesterday they had this same matchup, and Preston Wilson hit a line drive at Alex Gonzalez that came an eyelash from taking his face off. That's difficult to play shortstop if you're faceless.
That would have made Mrs. Gonzalez very unhappy. 1 ball, no strikes. Ground ball toward third. It's foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alex, one of the more handsome major league players. That would have upset a lot of people, Steve.
Well, sometimes the ball gets to you in a hurry, and as we've seen in the 6 games we've played, Preston Wilson is just about as strong as anybody in this league. And that was one of the few times where he really had a good swing at Remlinger. There's a look at Alex getting a day off today. To this point, his counterpart, Ramon Martinez, is the reason why we're tied.
It has been an offensive struggle for the Cubs today. They're tied despite being out hit 10-5 by Colorado. 1-1 to Wilson. Swing and a fly ball to left. Alou in the well. He's got room, and that retires the side. If that ball's hit 3 more feet towards center field, it would have been gone. Instead, the Rockies strand 2 more in the 8th.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country.
Some people don't realize how many nonstop flights Southwest offers, so we created this simple color-coded map to help. Baltimore to LA is red, Phoenix to Raleigh-Durham, blue, Chicago to Seattle, yellow, LA to Austin, canary yellow, Orlando to Albuquerque, teal, Las Vegas to Houston, aquamarine, Buffalo to Phoenix, beige umber, San Jose to Baltimore, pistachio, Oakland to Chicago, sea green, Albany to Orlando, puce, Tampa to St. Louis, pinkish, New Orleans to San Diego, kinda green.
You are now free to move about the country.
Boys. Right.
With a large color screen, next-generation intelligence, and the latest accessories, the Motorola T720 has quite an effect on people.
Hey, Ray. Get on over here.
See you, boys. Get $100 off a T720 or up to $100 off Motorola original accessories when you sign up for a qualified calling plan at an AT&T wireless store.
That way.
Thanks. You're closer to a Volkswagen than you think. In fact, really, really close.
Closed captioning for Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, Chicagoland at Northwest Indiana's well-oiled machine.
Job well done for Mike Remlinger in the 8th. Now to the bottom half we go, and Mark Bellhorn leads things off. Mark 0 for 3 today. He has flied to left and struck out twice.
Hasn't been the best day for the Horn, but he has an opportunity here for a redeemer, a base hit. Cubs are in business.
Out of play, foul.
And the bullpen up and going, and looks like Joe Borowski throwing in the pen.
Rockies have double barrel action, lefty and righty down the right field line. They've used Fuentes, Maselli, and Jones already today.
There's a look at Joe, who's been outstanding out of the pen this year.
Good eye by Bellhorn. 2 balls and a strike, and indeed, happy birthday, Joe Borowski. Fouled straight back, 2-2. Reed the right-hander, Lopez the lefty.
And both of them are side wheelers. Kind of strange to see a right-hander and a left-handed sidearm, almost submariner in the case of Lopez.
Well, you want to make your bullpen catchers unhappy. Have those 2 guys switch spots and start warming up. Inside, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, somehow Mark Bellhorn has got to get out. You take a walk, you stand in front of one, or you get a base hit. And for many years, that's how Biggio would beat you late. Get right on top of the plate, you bounce it off his anatomy.
Ball 4. Bellhorn's on. Now let's see if the Cubs can take advantage of a leadoff walk. They did in the 6th inning. That's when they scored the game-tying run at that point.
Well, I got to believe you're going to see a bunt here. And it's going to be real difficult because you got a hard-charging Helton who has a great arm at first. And right now he's telling Todd Jones, if I come in, you charge straight ahead, because it appears that Stein's going to come in at 3rd. Now, in a similar situation, Belliard pulled the bat back and took a swing at it for Clint Hurdle. But I think chip percentages say you got to bunt and you've got to move along Bellhorn, who's got pretty good speed.
Of course, Colorado throws to first, hoping Miller would tip his hand, but Damian's been around too long to do that. 4-4 game, bottom of the 8th inning. Cubs trying to win the series. And now Miller shows bunt, and he lays down a dandy. There's only one play, and it's to first. Perfect sacrifice from Miller.
Credit Estelle. He realized that when Norton fielded that ball, there was for a moment nobody at third. And so he went down. He was going to cover in case Bellhorn decided that he was going to take off. Now watch Norton come in, and Estelle, realizing that third base is open, says there's only one play. He made it. And from high overhead, we'll show you the defense. And Estelle getting down there, but no advance. So Bellhorn, the go-ahead run out at second.
That's in there for a strike for Tom Goodwin, who checked in the 7th inning.
Chip, he had a leadoff start yesterday, and that might help him here.
That's always been Dusty Baker's mantra as the manager. You can't ask guys to perform in critical game-winning situations and be effective if you don't give them at bats during the week.
He had 4 yesterday.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And I think with a veteran bench, it's something the Cubs haven't had in a while. And you look at Lenny Harris, and Ramon Martinez usually comes off the bench along with Tom Goodwin. It's a pretty solid bench, and of course you've got whoever doesn't catch that day.
Goodwin, ground ball, funny hop. Helton smothers it, runner to third, 2 outs.
Helton's an awfully good first baseman, and he knew he had to keep that ball in front of him. It hopped right into his body, and he was able to make the play.
Back to the top we go, and Mark Gonzalez. Mark, 3 for his last 33. No better time for him to break out of it than right now. He could enter the double-digit RBI column with a base hit here in the 8th inning. 4-4 is our score. It has been a real offensive struggle today.
Gonzalez has hit an even .250 lifetime against Jones. He does not have an extra base hit. He doesn't need one here. Little blooper would do.
No balls and a strike. 0-2. Mr. Jones. Flags not doing much, and the skies are darkening by the minute. 0-2 to Gonzalez. 0-3 to Gonzalez. Inning over. Leadoff walk bears no fruit. We're going to the 9th, still tied.
Lots of people have a look, but only a few have the goods to back it up. Like Dodge Ram 1500 Quad Cab Hemi, featuring an available 5.7-liter Hemi Magnum with best-in-class towing capacity, 4 full-size doors, full-size bed, and more. Now with your choice of 0% APR financing for 60 months or $2,500 cash allowance. Plus Dodge's fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. Dodge Ram, bold looks, genuine goods, and now a sweet deal.
We see a mom and a CEO. We see Teacher of the Year. We see 400 employees in 3 years. A 23-city tour. We see the toughest reservation in town. And you reaching for the stars. At Microsoft, we stand in awe of you and your potential. It's what inspires us to create software that helps you reach it.
The supercharged Mercedes-Benz C230 Sports Coupe. Now you can take the Windy City with you wherever you go. The Sea Coupe starts at just $25,670 and includes scheduled maintenance for the life of the warranty. Because around here, it's what's on the inside that counts.
Here we go to the 9th inning. And a real tough confrontation for the Cubs. Larry Walker has really torn up Remlinger, and he's the man to greet him first.
He's hitting .500 against him lifetime, including a walk yesterday.
Maybe this will be the other .500. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, it's very possible. 8 for 16 with a home run and 4 walks.
And him reaching, and it's skied into left. Alou is there. It was the other .500. 1 away. That's a big out. And before Jose Hernandez comes to the plate, let's step aside and tell you what's coming up on WGN.
When the ghost of a childhood friend starts to appear to Lana, Clark must stop this sinister spirit before it exacts revenge. Smallville, Tuesday night at 8 on WGN, Chicago's WB.
Well, Steve, this has been a very educational day today for our viewing audience as Hernandez takes in 0 for 3. We all learned what colorophobia is.
I know, that is the fear of people who look like Bozo. Not necessarily Bozo,
right,
but clowns.
1 ball, no strikes.
You know, this is kind of interesting because Colorado doesn't have anything left-handed coming off the bench.
They only carry 5 extra men. They carry 12 pitchers because they need them at home. 2-0 to Hernandez. One thing I know you don't have is colorophobia or over-ordering a phobia.
Well, I thought the least I could do was to try to keep things in perspective at Harry Caray's the other night.
Yeah, well, you did.
I didn't think my end of the check at $110 was excessive.
The guy's got to have a tapeworm. 2 balls, two strikes to Hernandez.
And 2 pretty good high fastballs. Again, it falls in the category you can't hit him. And if you can't lay off him, then it'll be strikeout number 3.
You know, Remlinger wanted to come back and take the baseball today after a real rough time of it yesterday. And there's that off-speed pitch that just wears out right-handed hitters. 2 up, 2 down here in the 9th. Looking ahead to the Cubs half, Martinez, Sosa, and Alou are scheduled.
Well, good straight change, and when Remlinger is right, that's his strongest weapon. And it actually is much more effective against right-handers than left-handers. That's probably the reason why at this time Borowski is merely throwing in the pen and not in the game.
Estelea, the batter. He has an RBI single that came in the 7th. So tonight, what is it going to be? The fillet or 2 tails?
The 2 tails of the city. I like that. I don't know, but I'm pretty excited. This game has worked up an appetite. It's a, as my friend would say, a cliff dweller.
1 ball, 1 strike. Not surprisingly, our production staff didn't get the joke. 2 outs, bases clear here in the
You
9th.
can't sneak anything by those fellows in the truck. Not Skip and Mark and the other guy.
Well, we can't say their names. Swing and a line drive. That's over the Cub bullpen.
And the
1
other
ball,
guy,
2
of course,
strikes.
is Pete Toma. We're just having a little sport with Petey. Nice to see him finally working a game. Outfield straight away, fairly deep. You want to cut off doubles here. You can live with a single.
1-2 pitch is in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Johnson getting the day off. Estelea has gone the whole way. He does have some surprising power at times. He's hit 4 home runs. That straight change is the old equalizer. Let's see what Remlinger goes to.
They set up away. The pitch missed badly. 3-2 your count.
Well, you can't possibly look for a straight change on 3-2. Remlinger tried with the fastball. Let's see if he goes back to the straight change as Charles Johnson waiting in the on-deck circle. That's Let's revisit him a little bit later.
Or next year. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He got it. Estelea can't believe the call, but Angel Hernandez said, hasta la vista. Let's see if the Cubs can win it in their last at bat next.
Ross Geller is.
You think you can knock up my daughter and then not marry her?
You got Rachel pregnant?
Dead friend walking.
Hey, I offered to marry her, but I didn't want to.
Next Friends.
Tomorrow night at 6 on WGN.
On the next, Everybody Loves Raymond.
Jeffrey quit basketball.
I'll talk to him.
Tell me what you're gonna say.
I don't have to run things by you. You're not in charge here.
Ray.
I'm gonna say. On the next, Everybody Loves Raymond.
Tomorrow night at 6:30 on WGN.
2 years after the telephone was invented, a telephone company was born. "125 years of sweat. "125 years of building networks. "125 years of getting the job done. The fact is, after 125 years, we are just getting started. Looking back, moving forward. SBC.
Change the Rockies batting order. Center pitcher, 39 Reed.
You're the best I've ever seen with a closed mic. I got to tell you.
Thanks, pal.
You
Steve,
are absolutely the best.
Steve Reed goes to work for Colorado here in the 9th inning. Martinez, Sosa, and Alou are scheduled. Charles Johnson will also check in on the double switch should this game go to the 10th. Johnson will bat in the number 8 spot in the Colorado batting order. Looking at the bench for the Cubs, they have Harris, they have O'Leary, they have Baco against a guy that's real tough on right-hand batters.
Well, Martinez has gotten a couple hits, and it was his home run in the 7th that has gotten us here with a tie. So Dusty normally likes to give the guys he has given an off day the complete day off, and that's probably why he's not pinch hitting. That and the fact that Martinez has come through with some clutch hits for the Cubs this year. So Reed comes in, the sidewinding right-hander, on for the 15th time.
First pitch chopped past Wendell Kim. Strike 1. Reed pitched yesterday, gave up a hit in 1 inning of work.
And Chip, when you throw from down there and you leave it over the inner portion, you figure that a right-hand hitter is going to pull it. A little surprised Jose is not more into the hole at shortstop. Norton a couple steps off the line at third.
He's playing no doubles. Martinez 1 ball 1 strike.
There you see the defense, and by no doubles, Chip means, of course, he'll take another couple of steps toward the line, make sure it doesn't go down there.
2-1. Sosa waiting on deck. This is a big game for both the Cubs and the Rockies. Colorado trying to get some road momentum going. The Cubs trying to win their 6th series and their 18th game of the year, and they've got a good chance at it now. Ball 3, 3-1. Reed wants a new baseball.
Well, Reed had such a great year last year at San Diego to start the year. 2-4, 1.98 ERA. With the Mets, the ERA 2.08, combined 64 appearances. So he's not a closer, but he is a very valuable setup man. Their closer, Jose Jimenez, and he's been tough on the Cubs.
Taking all the way, full count, 3 balls 2 strikes. Hot shot, smothered beautifully by Norton at third. Bad throw. Hilton lost the bag. He couldn't keep the bag, and there's a break.
And that's what Norton has done throughout his career. Occasionally he'll get a little bit wild with his throws. It was a good pickup. The E5 could produce the winning run. Norton with the first error this year. This part of it's real good. This part of it's not so good. He takes his time and throws it up the line. And as you can see, Helton was pulled off the bag. A good call by Randy Marsh.
You could see him aim that ball from third base. And now the winning run's on for Sosa. And that hangs high. 1-0 your count. So Colorado with 2 errors in this game. They've opened the door in the 9th. 4-4 is the score. Cubs have won 3 games in their last AB. Ground ball slowly hit up the middle. 6-4-3. 2 outs.
That was a tailor-made 2. The grass slowed it down. Sosa couldn't outrun it, and for the 5th time this year, he's grounded into a double play. So now it's up to Moises. Good turn by Belliard. Ramon went in hard, but Belliard went up and over. And Borowski continues to throw in the pen. He would probably come into this one if Moises and perhaps Choi don't end it first. The Rockies have left 12 today. Both teams have had opportunities.
Cubs left them loaded in the 6th inning. Remember, they had the bases loaded, nobody out, and came away with only 1 run in that frame. They're tied at 4. Moises checks his swing but tips it away for a strike.
Now Reed has given up 3 home runs in 14 2/3 innings of work. And Moises can't believe the call that time by Hernandez. As that breaking ball floated away, he thought it was a little too far outside. Watch it again.
Check swing pop up. And at third, Norton makes the play. Well, an inning started very promisingly in E5, and the Cubs do nothing with it. Bonus panels in Chicago. Game tied 4-4 after 9.
Dude, isn't that your mom?
The Hyundai Santa Fe, a comparison. More standard features than a Ford Escape XLS, all for over $1,400 less when comparably equipped. And only the Santa Fe is protected by America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. Looks like we have a winner. Test drive the Hyundai Santa Fe, nicely equipped for just $17,634 at your Hyundai dealer. Hurry in and get a 2003 Santa Fe with $1,000 cash back through May 31st at your local Hyundai dealer.
Extra inning baseball now. 4-4 is the score after 9 innings of play. And the Cubs make a couple of changes. Alex Gonzalez checks in the game. He will play shortstop for the Cubs. And Joe Borowski is the 4th pitcher of the afternoon.
Borowski on for the 16th time. He's been the closer. The ERA at 180. Only 6 hits in 15 innings. And when you put your closer into an extra inning situation, you just want to buy 1 inning, at the most 2 innings. Try to turn it over to your offense. And with Alfonseca coming back, I think that Dusty will leave Borowski as the closer, letting Alfonseca ease his way back in. But right now he's got his work cut out for him, because Charles Johnson will lead it off, and he's a notorious first ball fastball hitter.
Johnson leads off the 10th. 4 homers and 15 RBIs in total on the year. Yesterday Johnson had a 2-run scoring single. He had 2 hits as well in the series opener. The fastball, but he missed it, popped it out of play. Strike 1.
Well, if you know that about a guy, and I'm sure that Borowski and Miller do, you can make it work against them because you just throw it off the plate. They usually swing at it if it is a fastball. The Cubs 2-0 in extra innings. The Rockies 1-1. Both of the Cub victories in extra innings coming on the road.
No strike, says Randy Marsh. 1 ball, 1 strike.
There is one left-hander on the bench for Colorado, Mark Sweeney.
Popped back toward us. 1-2.
Come out from under the counter. I'll protect you.
Please.
In the hands of a sturgeon.
They're known for their glove work, Steve.
Just can't reach into my pocket.
There's no doubt about that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Driven in the air, right side. Hee-Sop Choi near the Colorado dugout. Let's see if anybody can make a play. And Choi comes in at the last minute and does.
You have to remember the ball always spins back toward the field of play. So even if your first instinct is it's going out of play, you have to follow it to the dugout. It will drift back to you. A much easier play for Choi. You have to keep Miller away from this. And Hee-Sop made it. The big first out and the big first baseman shows a real good glove. My old pal Jerry Becker looking on in sunny Phoenix. A 90-year-old medical whiz.
Getting older by the minute as this game goes along. Strike 1 to Norton, who walked in the 8th and was stranded. Then committed what could have been a fatal error in the 9th. But a double play and a pop out ended the Cub threats. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Big crowd here today. Not quite as big as yesterday. A little over 37,000. Yesterday was the biggest crowd of the year. And a few folks have gone home at this point.
At the knees, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
When you look at Borowski's slider, sometimes you say, well, it doesn't move very much. But for him, it moves so late that hitters just don't get a good look. They think they've got it on a sweet spot of the bat. And then it moves at the last instant. And there it is.
2 outs.
I mean, it's really amazing, Chip, because it comes up there. It looks like it's just going to spin, and it darts at the last instant, and hitters have a hard time with it. This is the backdoor slider. But Norton cannot check his swing, so quickly, 2 outs.
Here's Belliard. He's got a couple of hits. Joe Borowski pitching on his birthday today. To be 32 again, Steve. Strike 1 to Belliard.
Well, in a couple of years, you'll find out, Chip.
I wish.
Jose Jimenez getting loose. 4 appearances against the Cubs. And this is a guy that struggled against everybody else in the league except the Cubs. He's got 3 saves against them. But this year, the ERA at 7.63. Belliard has hit the ball hard today.
2-1. It's that one hard, but into the seats. Hey, nice catch by one of the fans walking up the steps from the concourse level. Gets a surprise and a hug.
And his young lady friend wants a baseball, and he said, "Get away. It's not yours."
Just missed. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
This one just off the corner, and that's a pretty good pitch. Angel Hernandez must have thought it was high.
Or too fast. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Belliard.
It's going to be away again here.
Popped up right side. Out goes Gonzalez. Sammy Sosa comes in. He has plenty of room, and we will head to the bottom half of the 10th inning. Happy birthday, Joe. Let's see if the Cubs can get you a win. 4-4 your score.
You know I like you. And I like you a lot. I like Janice a lot, too, and I know she's your roommate.
Janice?
I'm not sure how to say this to you. You know that I like you a lot, right?
Yeah.
It's just that I like Janice a lot, too, and I know she's your roommate, and I wouldn't...
So date both of us.
What? What did you say?
Free to move about the country.
Lots of people have a look, but only a few have the goods to back it up. Like Dodge Ram 1500 Quad Cab Hemi, featuring an available 5.7-liter Hemi Magnum with best-in-class towing capacity, 4 full-size doors, full-size bed, and more. Now with your choice of 0% APR financing for 60 months or $2,500 cash allowance. Plus Dodge's fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. Dodge Ram, bold looks, genuine goods, and now a sweet deal.
It's 4-4 here in our 10th inning, and Aesop Choi will get his first look at Steve Reed in the 10th inning. A 4-4 game.
Remember, Reed is very vulnerable to the left-hand hitters. So Choi should get a real good swing at him.
And Reed misses outside. Thanks as always to our great crew on WGN. Ball game produced by Pete Toma today. Skip Ellison, our director. Our assistant producer is Mark Brady, and our executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Vorwall. Steve Stone, Chip Caray. Cubs trying to win the series. And a high fly ball. He got under it into left. Peyton is under it. One man down for Alex Gonzalez, who last year had a real flair for the dramatic. He won a couple of games with last at bat home runs.
They were usually at night, though, and the way this is going, you might get an opportunity to do that. At the horn in the on-deck circle could come into play before this is over. Yesterday, Alex had 3 walks, including one with the bases loaded, which produced his 10th run batted in, and a base hit to go along with it. So he was on base 4 to 5 times.
Swing and a drive deep toward left field. We asked for it. We have got it. Cubs win. 5-4. Alex Gonzalez wins it again in dramatic fashion.
We will bid adieu to the Rockies with the season series at 3-3. The Cubs going crazy. They won a ball game. They could have easily have lost. They're 3-0 in extra innings. Another 1-run win. And the Cubs will keep their hold on first place along with the St. Louis Cardinals. What a dramatic way to win this one. And we will welcome Milwaukee to town with big smiles on everybody's faces.
That was some kind of finish. Happy birthday, Joe Borowski. He wins it on his 32nd birthday. The last Cub to do that was Greg Hibbard nearly 10 years ago. Ironically enough, Dusty Baker was in the lineup for the Giants that day. Today, Alex Gonzalez. Dusty pushed all the right buttons. His 2 shortstops hit 2 homers. Alex the game winner, and the Cubs sky high outduel the Rockies today.
Remlinger and Borowski once again with Joe Borowski. Just an unbelievable year. Along with the 5 saves, he's now 1-0. The ERA under 2, and the Cubs win a ball game that when you look at it, the Rockies had so many chances to win. You're just amazed the Cubs able to come back in this one. They fell behind 3-0 early. They kept battling back time and time again. How far did it fly? 365 game-winning feet for Southwest Airlines.
And the Cubs win a thriller. 5th game-ending home run for Alex as a Cub. Dusty Baker again pushed all the right buttons. The Cubs win their 6th series. They're 18-13, and you'd expect Dusty to win on his own Beanie Baby Day here in Chicago. Cubs beat the Rockies. They remain tied with the Cardinals for first in the Central. We'll welcome Milwaukee to town tomorrow night. Back with more right after this.
Stupid bloody
Hey, Dad.
bag. No, I'm just
But we really want to show you something.
What is it then? What is it?
These aren't Pepsis. They're Pepsi Twists.
You're a bunch of bloody magicians.
We're not the Osbournes.
You're not?
We're the Osmonds.
I'm a little bit country.
I'm a little bit rock and roll. I dreamt the kids turned into the Osmonds.
Oh, there, dear.
Like twists, Pepsi Twist and Diet Pepsi Twist. It's a twist on a great thing.
Good night.
That's fun for some. Playing Mega Millions from the Illinois Lottery? That's fun for all. Players have more fun.
Welcome aboard. Please turn off all unapproved electronic devices. We have a very crowded flight today, and all overhead space is full. The captain expects frequent turbulence, so please remain seated at all times. And we do anticipate a late arrival. Thank you.
The Hyundai Santa Fe, with America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. When you upgrade your travel plans, you win.
There's the baseball that's a little flat on one side as Alex Gonzalez smokes his 5th game-winning home run as a member of the Cubs. And that is our Budweiser play of the game. Reed made a mistake, and he hit it a mile. Cubs win it 5-4 in 10 innings. They are now 18-13 on the year, and they even up the season series with the Rockies at 3 apiece. Milwaukee's in town starting tomorrow night. We'll have Tuesdays and Wednesdays games for you. First on WCIU, then Wednesday on WGN. 5-4 is your final for Steve Stone and our entire crew. Chip Caray, thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. The 10th inning show is coming up.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Budweiser. The best things in life are the things that are true. Budweiser. Comcast Cable and High-Speed Internet, proud sponsor of Chicago Cubs baseball. Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. The Illinois Lottery, where players have more fun. Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Chicago Cubs. And by Southwest Airlines, more than 2,700 nonstop daily flights to 59 destinations all across the country. Gifts are provided by Howard From Jewelers on the 8th floor at 5 South Wabash. Howard From. You want to buy a watch?
If only all businesses were like Walgreens Pharmacy, then they'd have drive-thrus too.
Yeah, I'd like one of those prenuptial agreements.
So you could get what you need quickly, without ever getting out of your car.
Better or worse?
Fortunately, there's at least one place that's designed around your needs.
So, tell me about your mother.
Well, it all started when I was about 14.
Walgreens. Why go anywhere else?
Get the best values in America from Dodge. Take our best products like the 250 horsepower Dodge Intrepid SXT, the restyled Stratus SXT, and the sporty Neon SXT. Plus our best warranty, Dodge's fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. Plus our best deals like up to a $3,000 cash allowance or 0% financing for 60 months. Add it all up, it equals the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer or visit Dodge.com.
Jackie Bang, weekends on Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
The 10th inning is brought to you by FP Mailing Solutions, the alternative for all of your mailing equipment needs. And by Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger Restaurants.
Well, with all due apologies, we can call this one the 11th inning show, basically. The Cubs win at 5-4, white flag time here at Wrigley Field. They take 2 of 3 from the Colorado Rockies in very dramatic fashion, and a big crowd very happy, Steve, with a game-winning home run from the man that joins us downstairs, Alex Gonzalez, who seemingly has a flair for the dramatic. What's the secret, my friend, in the last at-bat?
I wish I could explain it. I just, you know, was trying to stay relaxed in there, and I guess once you've done it before, you kind of start building a confidence in late innings.
Well, talk a little bit about what it's like to wait for your first home run as long as you did this year. When you got it in San Francisco, all of a sudden you're red hot. Did you go up there looking for anything? I mean, can you do that against a side-wheeling right-hander?
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta make sure the ball is up because he's going to try sinking the ball down on you, and you know, that's what I was trying to do, and I got it in front of the count 2-0, and then you know, I knew he had to come at me because he didn't want to walk me.
Alex, so Steve and I were commenting earlier in this series about how different the mood is around this clubhouse, around the team. Obviously, you can't change anything about what took place last year. It was a real rough year for everybody associated with the Cubs. Can you put it into perspective for the fans at home and explain the difference in the atmosphere, the team effort that you guys have going down in that locker room with Dusty Baker now?
Well, I'd say from last year it's a 180-degree turn, especially in the clubhouse, because everybody, unbelievable chemistry, and I think it started all the way back in spring training when everybody got together and kind of started believing in themselves and what we could do on the field. We knew we had the talent. We just needed somebody to put it all together for us.
Well, Alex, how important is it? Because when you guys come off the bench with this team this year, you're coming off with all veterans. You're coming off with guys who have played the game before, know how to win games late, and they're not surprised by anything. Is that one of the strengths of this team? You're able late in the game to go to the bench. It doesn't matter who you put in. He's been around a while.
Well, it's hard to substitute for experience, and that's what we have on the bench and in our bullpen. And it showed today what we could do, especially our bullpen coming in and shutting the door on them.
Well, it sure makes it fun for us to come to the ballpark, Alex, and I know from the smiles on your guys' faces before every game, you're looking forward to getting back at it. And tomorrow night, we've got Milwaukee coming in. We look forward to some more heroics from you and the rest of the Cubs and what has been a fantastic start to the season. As always, my friend, thanks for the visit.
All right, we're having fun with it.
We are too. Let's keep it going. Alex Gonzalez, the hero today, another game-winning home run, his 5th as a Cub, his 3rd of the year. And the Cubs win the series over Colorado 5-4. Back with more on the 10th inning right after this.
A better brand of beef makes a butter burger better.
A better brand of beef makes a better... No!
Makes a burger better.
What?
A better brand of beef makes a butter burger better.
A better brand of beef makes a better butter...